Are we all kind of doing the same thing?
My head needed to be turned the other way.
There we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. One and all.
Thanks a latte.
It's still kind of a novelty to have you here.
Yay! It is
It
nice,
is.
isn't it?
You didn't say it was a good novelty.
That's correct. You know what? Novelty doesn't have a quality associated with it. That's true. It's just new.
And you know why we're able to be together? Because we got fucking vaxxed.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. Yeah.
Wait.
I got them
both
both
shoulders.
at the same
I mean-
time. No, you know, I
we
didn't.
we all got double tapped.
Yeah.
Just there was a
I mean, wasn't that the
Hundred times
polio or
between.
something that had two? I don't know. There's one of those early amazing vaccines that
Had a couple.
had like a double needle, and it's just, I mean, whatever, it did the job.
And I would also say, like, not only are we double vaxxed, but we wear masks basically in all other places.
Yes.
We maintain proper physical distancing. We have been very cautious. It's vax and
Yes.
yes and
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 yeah, and if
And-
a subscription.
currently
Thank you.
yay, yeah, it's legally approved where we live.
Correct.
We are allowed. If it changes, then we will unfortunately have to not. We'll just form a thruple, quadruple, whatever you call them.
someone's getting left
thruple.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh no,
Who's out?
John, because we have
my
to.
God.
Oh shit, I'm inviting myself in.
You
Ugh.
definitely are. Yeah.
No crims.
No crims.
Many crimes.
sad. So I'm just like I'll sit like off in another corner.
I
Just
don't know,
being
socially distance.
a
Quapple? I like quapple.
Quapple.
no.
Look, if there's anything I know, it's that there's
Snapple, quapple.
a quadratic equation here somewhere, and b squared minus 4ac.
Oh. That's so discriminant. That's a math joke for you.
And
Yeah.
oh, wow. The audience numbers are falling.
Jot.
Quarple.
Talk mathy to me.
Quap.
What have you done? Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
I'm sorry, that's my laugh, which we didn't EQ before the stream.
So the first thing I'm gonna throw out there,
Mm.
first and foremost,
Mhm.
is hello to she who knows 1,000 things. Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Mod extraordinaire, a tool. You'll be able to. That'll come up a little bit later on in the stream.
Yes, the reason we're calling her a tool.
Hey, Krister, if you're here, send me a private message. Like, not on Twitch, somewhere else.
Discord, Twitter,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Carrier pigeon.
Yeah.
Really.
Not ideal.
We have a balcony. It could like peck at the window or something.
Why is this pigeon so...
If you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Because there is something I would ask you. And I only realized it just now after seeing your lovely subscription. So yeah, that's a thing.
And we're so happy to see so many wonderful... I love, because Twitch chat has, like, individualized colors for people, right? Like, I love seeing the sort of rainbow of people who are here, which is wonderful. And Roger Twy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Look at this. Fantastico.
Is
Hey.
John going quiet for other people?
We can adjust me.
Yeah, is he?
Throw me on one.
Oh yeah, he definitely.
Boop, and
then
just pick up
rotate it
one.
slightly.
What, like a couple?
Like that.
That should be enough.
That went up a
Yep.
whole
Yeah.
lot.
That's
so.
a bunch.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, it is great to see everybody here. Honestly, it's just such a joy to see these three, and then I get to hang out with all the rest of you, and that is the way that I want to be.
That's nice.
Okay, so now that I'm ladder, hi Erwin and Krister, throw me a message. I would really appreciate it.
There you go.
There's some pook.
Oh!
Everyone's hitting their 11 months and 12 months and so many
think
months.
There is going to be a year very soon if it hasn't
I
already
think we've
happened.
got some years. I think Erwin's at a year.
Well, pook,
If you're blue, I think you're.
because pook is one of the founders of the channel.
But the way sub anniversaries work is so
It's a little
weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I know for me on Pook's channel, it's like on the 15th, but I pay on like the 28th or something. Like it's completely unsynchronized, and Twitch is strange.
When you saying there's a period of time where Pook thinks you're supporting, and yet
No, I like.
Oh, Erwin's got the 1 year. Yep.
Yeah.
When did we start?
August.
Yeah.
Thank you
right.
very much, Krister.
Oh.
We'll be in
And
touch.
Gilid good.
It won't be for the
Thank
next
you,
3 hours.
folks.
Forgive me.
Look at this.
Yes.
That's so wonderful. Thank you. Man, I got to get a nicer shirt for all these subscribers. stickers.
Like a sparkly one.
Oh, a fancy one.
With
even.
everybody's names like sewn into it.
That would act like little chevrons, but it's names of Twitch subscribers. That's actually not a bad idea. I would write it down, but it's not that good an idea.
It's one
Worst
day.
idea though.
One day we'll actually get our shit on some merch. And
Eric
then the
Gwen.
merch will basically be the only ones who buy it, but we'll have
Correct,
There's so many quotes.
I'm
that I
happy
just
to
wanna
support
put-
us, though.
put
Do you want
on
to have
merch.
like a headband with like the die with the EKG just like stretching across,
Oh, nice.
like so that
Quote T-shirts.
So when you're like studying for your exams, or like
Yeah,
what
sure.
kind of headband are you
like
talking? Or like
stickers,
sports?
mugs.
Yeah, I feel like stickers, mugs.
Do you wear headbands to study?
Sorry, it's like a my weeb is showing.
Oh, okay. As in, like, time to buckle down.
Yeah, exactly, literally.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Okay,
Yeah.
this is good. It's
my
a good
God.
vibe in the room, if you can't tell.
Stickers would probably be the easiest because like they're
Yeah.
cheap to mail. Luke, it is good to see you as well. I saw, Luke, that you were mentioning it earlier.
Yeah.
I will also say that if you are noticing the title of the thing, just look at all the other titles for ExalTwitch Academy, and then look in the Discord and check the pinned description of the ExalTwitch Academy channel.
For a secret surprise.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
not that secret anymore.
But if you're not a member of the Discord, do
Yeah.
jump in. We have great chats. Lots of things are happening on the Discord. I can't really speak to all of it.
We
but
do recipe exchanges sometimes. It's great.
People do things on my channel as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mostly share clips.
That sounds
Clips of me.
That sounds like you're trying to evade a Twitch ban. That people do things.
I
on
can
my
neither
channel.
confirm nor deny that I'm trying to avoid a Twitch ban right now. Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Excuse me. Oh, Thanatos
Yes.
is here. What's up? Yeah.
I'm actually
what?
not participating in
Sorry,
today's
no.
episode. I'm just going to watch like this.
We joked about that ages ago, not about you sitting out an episode, but specifically what happens if you die 2 minutes into an episode, and then you're like, well,
Simple Plan
Yep.
are from Montreal, so they're local boys, and I had a friend whose sister dated their bass player
Ooh.
for like a hot minute.
Yeah.
Audio merch.
Oh my god.
hello, you've reached the voicemail of
Nancy Drew.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you.
You look subservient.
I'm pleased to meet your acquaintance.
Well, there's a song by Simple Plan called "Perfect,"
Yeah.
and it may or may not apply today because I'm definitely not making any reference to Ed Sheeran, like no, or One Direction. Krista, it's so good to finally meet you.
Hello.
No.
There you go.
Not a person.
Wait, Pink also has a song. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there are just some titles that everyone has done a song of.
You look subservient.
Grumensch coming in with the quote.
Yes.
As always, which I love.
We should almost put the chat down here because when you look at the chat now, you're
Oh, it's
looking at this part of the screen.
Oh.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we can
I mean,
do it.
it's not necessarily a good idea. But anyway,
But the programming. Yeah.
My program.
Oh, pixels.
look with your special eyes. Hey, we got a game that we should get going on. First of all, I should ask if any of you spent any of your milestones.
Oh yeah, that's what it's called. now.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Oh.
Thanks, Krister.
Yay.
you.
Thank you, Krister.
Zen of Games getting that sub. Off Nancy Drew and Reggie.
We'll allow it.
I'm sorry. I'm still not used to this system, so I keep forgetting what I can actually buy. So in the usual, like, 3 seconds before we go live panic, I don't have the brain.
Admit
to-
it, Kate. You didn't think you'd get caught.
No, I knew I'd get
You
caught.
just didn't think you'd get caught.
I just don't actually remember what the hell I can buy.
Fair.
BBC is to bomb.
Fair.
Honestly, I'd probably union questions. Whatever. I'd record a voicemail for someone at some point.
Wait, don't tell me. Represent.
Great show. Or
show.
Show.
Yeah.
It's appropriate.
Forgived. What did you buy?
Yeah.
I bought a second Excellency, this time in Embassy.
Awesome. I had my minor milestone as well, still sitting in the bank because I had forgotten about it. So I rebought Excellency as well, close combat. I also bought a new charm, Lightning Speed, which is
For sex.
Well, it's for athletics, John. I wouldn't say Lightning Speed is.
I didn't
More
know that
sex
Essence had sex
specific.
charms, but I guess now we do.
Okay, so I think I need to say something here. When Scott was letting John know that he was going to buy this charm, he's like, John, how long do you think it'll be before someone makes fun of me for this? And John was like, I can guarantee it won't be long. And it was John.
First thing.
John did it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
At any rate, yes, I'm really pleased with it. It looks awesome, and I think the Dragon-Blooded mode feels right. I've got like a real kind of Roadrunner kind of situation going on here. Sheer no-show is correct. I need to run away from family.
New record! Hit the targets!
Oh, no. Oh, boy. But yeah, there you go.
New mode or repurchase.
All right. Hey, what happened last session? And once again, I'm going to ask that each of you only says one sentence.
I'm going to start with the easiest part, which feels bad. No. Okay, I'm going to say Oresta and Pyres spent time with the Heightened Sense logbook while Gale Whispered uncovered more secrets about the cache egg. That's not it. Okay. No, I burned my sentence.
Gale stole a letter from the ship's first mate from someone named Zindel, who hinted at civil war and needing to track down Pyres and Oresta before the Anathema or Excelsi does.
We sailed and nearly entered Mayan, where just as we were approaching, we were met with a blockade of Kathak ships, not wanting anyone from House Pelops to enter. And so we bailed, and Pyres and Oresta went one way, and Gale and the rest went elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Best sentence ever.
That's a really long sentence, I know, but I was like...
I burned my sentence. I should have started with...
Just go for that run-on.
Yeah.
And of course, you're headed to... well, we'll get into that. But for the letter, we'll play the letter again for people who may not have heard it the first time around.
It's really good.
Get your ears on.
Increase desktop volume.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Crank that shit.
Crank that.
Viren looks to wet himself on the bodies of our future. He's going to cause a civil war before we're ready for one. I want to make it absolutely clear that I'm not comfortable with sacrifice when so many have already been hurt. Viren might think amputating an arm of the realm is critical to our long-term survival. But shouldn't that be a last resort? And only when we're certain of our diagnosis? Kathak must come out on top. Find Pyres and Oresta. Find them now, before the Anathema do. And above all else, before Excelsi does. Zindel.
Intense.
I have
Very
the
intense.
original.
Yeah.
That was quite the original. We had an excellent freak out when it was played, so that was a good time.
Gale has also been messing with the letter, so now it just says Viren looks to wet himself.
Nice.
I'm gonna share that around the Blessed Isle. Absolutely incredible.
Peter's pants.
What are you, like a student? I don't know.
It's a genuine word.
Well, Aragwen supports this. Beep beep baby. Sorry.
Elizabeth, you might have some genuine words about certain things that are on our table all in front of us.
Oh,
Yes, there's
genuine.
one thing we are very genuine about, and that is safety. So we have a safety system in place in the form of cards. Each card signifies a different thing and is here for our safety and enjoyment of the game. You, audience members, do not have these cards, but you do have options, and I'll let you know what they are in a minute. The green card, also known as the play card, is basically my way of showing the group that despite outward appearances, I am A-okay and am enthusiastically consenting to the role-playing that is happening right now. We are good to keep going. The yellow card is also known as the pause card, and that means I'm asking everyone to pause play so that I can make the group aware of something. It usually doesn't mean that play is going to be stopped. It's just a, hey, heads up. A red card means stop. Play stops. It could mean we're going to a BRB screen, and play only resumes when everybody at the table says that it's okay. Doesn't necessarily mean that anyone has done anything wrong, but this is our way of making sure that our lines and veils are respected. What are your options as viewers? So glad you asked. So the first thing that you can do is you can message one of our tools, our fabulous mods. Today we have Aragorn in chat, so you can message Aragorn and she can pass along your feedback anonymously if you so choose. You can also message John by whispering RPGClinic. And finally, if you need to, you can also take yourself away from the stream or from the chat. Of course, we'd be sad to see you go, but you have to prioritize your safety as much as we have to prioritize ours.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, everyone.
Any questions
Anonymous
before we get started? Other than why Aragorn is an anonymous tool?
Yeah. Your name's out there. Never mind.
Oh
It's-
my. Okay, so personal milestones, you can purchase a mode or an excellency.
can
Does
rebuy
that
charm.
include Oxbody?
Yes,
Great.
because you are
Rebuy charm.
repurchasing.
Repurchasing.
Yeah.
Buff up.
Buff up.
Are you about to buff up?
Oh shit.
I hope it gets to the point where where someone throws their most valuable villain.
Oh,
That's going to be
okay.
Pyres
Yeah,
when Pyres
sure.
goes at Oresta, like biggest attack. And she's just like, ow, that tickles.
I get mind
Something
control.
Like,
and I,
just nothing.
Go in with
Yeah, you
the-
slash at
the
her.
Swords, yeah.
Oh, I was imagining that you were like Pyres picks up someone and just throws that person
yeah, you
at
can do that,
Oresta.
yeah.
And Oresta just stands there and she's just so rock hard that it just goes
No, she just does this, right?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, such pain. Please tell me more.
Ugh.
Next. Fatality.
Parents are funny things. I mean, they're funny in that sometimes you've got dad jokes and ha ha ha, and, you know, I've known a few moms who are able to dish out puns with equal ease. But the thing about parents is that they're something that we don't control. We don't control how they treat us. We don't control where they are in life. And there is something about going home again. Some of you watching may still be in very close contact with your parents. Some of you may have lost contact with your parents for one reason or another. It's sometimes a dicey subject, and sometimes it's a subject that brings us great joy. But in the realm, among the princes of the earth, parents are special. Because they aren't necessarily all that close to you. You may not have been raised by your parents. Sure, they're responsible for bringing you into creation. But beyond that, a series of nannies, tutors, and other hangers-on may have been more responsible for your upbringing than your parents themselves. And so as we potentially are about to meet some parents here, don't forget that even if they weren't necessarily present during a whole period of your life, they still take a very keen interest in you. For one reason or another. We're not actually starting there.
Oh.
We're instead going to be starting
Oh.
with Gale Whispered. The last that we saw you, you were in fact being pushed just above the surface of the water by Flavienne in a longboat that has since been caved in.
Oh.
You have Siantel with you, and you also have that one helpful officer on the ship.
He's taking shore leave.
Right. Yes, true.
Who has come with you, knowing that because he helped you escape, he probably wasn't going to have much of a life on that ship anyway. And when you beach just off the city limits, surrounded by a lush forest, just past the sort of beach line. It's not going to be too far to get into the city itself. But Flavienne pops out, gets out onto the beach. For a moment, looks like she's invigorated, that everything is fine, and then... that was tiresome.
Well done. That was a disturbing experience.
Why disturbing?
I'm not the strongest of swimmers, so I just sort of saw my life flash before my eyes again and again and again. Right. To lodgings.
But what would you be seeing in your head again and again and again? You are not very old, are you?
It was mostly gateway plays that I botched.
Siantel just glances off to the side
And some good stuff, too.
Sorry.
To lodgings.
Lodgings?
Yes.
Do we have to right away?
What were you thinking we should do?
But it's such a lovely beach.
Do you want to swim?
I just swam all four of us over here.
Do you want to sit?
Just for a moment.
Do you just stand and stare? Like, what's happening?
Are you enjoying your seating?
Do I need to still be with all of you?
No. Go about your life. You never saw us. Goodbye.
That's okay. Look, kid, you did good. You helped us out a lot. I really appreciate it. But stick around us, and it might be a little bit dangerous for you. You may want to make your way into the city. Say that you fell overboard, but you managed to make it off to shore. Hey, that's great. And you're a powerful swimmer. Look at you. And she wraps her arm around his like skinny arm. Like, look, you got lots of meat on those bones. Biff. Right. Thanks for all the help. And he turns and he just starts walking off.
Have a nice life.
Into the forest in the direction of the city. Have a nice life?
What? I don't have your way with people.
I don't have a way with people. And Flavienne just starts laughing on the beach. It's true, neither of you do.
Roasted.
You know what to say to people.
I know what to say to people so that they will like me or that they'll look where I need them to look. That's it. I don't actually know how to deal with anybody.
Can you teach me how to do that?
Do what?
Like, talk to people so that they look where you want them to look and so that they like you.
What's most important is knowing what they like, and then you give it to them. Either by making sure that they think of what they like, or by saying that what they like is just around the corner. Then they believe you. Because in the end, nobody cares about the truth. They just care about what they want. It'll override their brains.
So that explains why nobody really seems to care what actually happened at the House of Bells.
Right now, no. Because what they care about is their version of the events. What supports what they believe, what they want, the future they're looking for. Truth gets in the way of that, and nobody cares about the truth.
I care about the truth.
What is truth? And Flavienne is like, this is way too much for what I'm looking for. I can't have these philosophical conversations on an empty stomach.
You wanted to sit down at the beach.
Lol.
I'm tired.
Damn.
If you want to convince somebody of something, you have to find a way to make them want to be convinced. Give them a reason to want information. And if you're going to teach anybody anything that they don't believe in, you have to give them a replacement. Something new for them to believe in at the same time.
That's a tall order.
Nobody wants a blank space in their minds. So you give them one. You give them something that replaces something else, something new. How about this? Let's try something. You and me right here.
Okay.
Okay. How about this? I think I'm ugly.
No, you're not. That is false.
Now, here's the thing. I told you I think I'm ugly. I didn't say I am ugly. I said I think, and you immediately went to, no, you're not. That's false. It doesn't support your version of events. But let me try something else.
Okay.
I think I look a lot better in that green dress.
Then what you're wearing right now?
Yeah. Which is just like your standard kind of nice looking breeches, the sort of thing that you'd wear for traveling if you were a rich patrician prince of the earth.
Well, what you look best in is what you think you look best in, so...
But now you immediately didn't come back at me with, no, you're wrong.
No.
Because I gave you something else to think about. I gave you an option to consider.
I'm thinking about the green dress quite intently right now, I'm going to be honest with you.
Flavienne, just
Yeah, I was
her
gonna
grin
say, like-
just keeps going wider and wider. Okay, let's try something else.
Okay.
Viren is the hero of the Siege of the House of Bells. You don't believe me, do you?
Trying to think of something else I can say that isn't. That's a stupid statement.
But it's a stupid statement, right?
Well, yes.
Now what
People who know,
Now what if I said Oresta is the hero of the Siege of the House of Bells?
yes. That's correct.
Okay. One of them is your version of events, and the other one is his.
One of them's the correct version of it.
Right. But remember that it doesn't matter what's correct or not. What matters is what you want. Okay. Now how about this? Viren had an interesting idea that got away from him, and that's why there was a siege of the House of Bells.
I bet a lot of people think that.
It's a little easier to take, because I'm not saying anything that goes against what you want.
It's giving him a lot of credit.
Sure. But I'm not saying something that goes against what you want. But
No.
now I've given an idea that's gone in your head, and I can use that idea again. Viren had a bad idea, and it got him killed. You agree with that, right?
Yeah.
But you see that now that I've planted the seed that he had an idea that got away from him that you accepted, and now I've said a bad idea got him killed, it's easier for you to make that jump. You already believe in the first thing. It fits in with what you want. Now, the second thing fits in with that already. And then it's only a small jump to Viren isn't the hero of the House of Bells.
So it's baby steps.
It's baby steps.
There's something I've been working on. I need some more time with it. But that's very helpful. Thank you.
Don't forget, there's a difference between a hug and trying to squeeze somebody to death. Flivian just bursts out laughing. Who the hell told you that? What does that have to do with anything?
Have you been talking to Oresta? I feel like her hugs may border on too strong.
Oresta's hugs, I imagine, are quite gentle when they need to be. Because Oresta has mastered her strength. There's a difference between being strong and mastering your strength. She can be unmovable as the earth, but she does not have to be. Speaking of people who are as unmovable as the earth, you're on a boat.
Yay!
You're swiftly escorted to other chambers, and you realize that the ship that you're on is actually no. You know what? I'm going to see if you do realize this. I want you
Yay.
to roll. This is going to be a finesse navigate.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you a 1 die bonus
Okay.
for this
And are
because of
we
where you just were.
each rolling, or is one of us rolling to
I
assist
think you
the
can
other?
both roll. This
Okay.
is fun. Standard difficulty.
5.
Yeah, 5 successes. Also wild.
This ship is exactly the same layout, exactly the same class of ship as the ship you were just on. But it's just organized a little differently. A wall has been taken out here. Cannons have been fitted there. More sails here. It's made the ship not as fast. It's more lumbering. It's carrying more weight. But it has more firepower and also more luxuries aboard. You're taken quite quickly to a private room, which is filled with wardrobe after wardrobe. And instantly there are 3 manservants, handmaidens, who are coming out and immediately like pressing new clothes on you, undressing and dressing you in new things. I mean, like, you're being treated not as all of your time at the House of Bells, where you took care of your own damn self, but once again as a member of the patrician class, where even such things as taking your own clothes off and putting your new clothes on, that was optional. Someone will do them for you if necessary. And making sure to dress you up in finery that very clearly identifies you as House Cathak.
Sweet. I'm going to discreetly take Zindel's letter out of my hair where it was being kept dry. I mean, it was probably quite visible upstairs, and it's a bit weird maybe, but I'm going to discreetly just try to tuck it out of my hair and into my clothes once they are on. I'm not trying to hide that I have something, but I'm trying to put it away. That's all. Just I have it.
Are they the only people in the room at the moment?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the two of you are in the same room.
Yeah.
There's a lot less of the sort of propriety of like, oh, they mustn't see each other. But there is a blind that is stretched across. So like you actually can see each other from the shoulders up.
That's cute.
That's kind of cute, actually. Well, it'd be here, I guess,
Yeah.
but this would be cute too.
What the fucking home improvement?
Yeah, like Wilson. Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
gonna meet your family apparently.
Yes, I can't wait to introduce all of you to each other. It should be. Thank you.
Is there anything that I should know to put more emphasis on or avoid? I mean, other than say how excellent you were at school.
Getting the hang of it already, Oresta.
Pyres. We're going to take the liberty of ensuring that hope and abandon are properly presented for you.
Thank you. Before they're returned to my possession.
Oh, absolutely. They're just wet.
Oh. Sorry.
And
Yes.
you see,
Of course.
one of them lifts the sheath, right? Because there are two swords in one sheath. Pulls both of them out and immediately just starts to. I mean, they don't need it. They're artifacts. They're not going to fall apart by being in water. But they're taking very good care of your weapons. But they're all making sure, almost like purposefully, that she's doing it in your sight.
Right.
So that you can see everything that she's doing. But she's just polishing, making sure that they are well maintained, ensuring that the scabbard is properly dried, that sort of thing.
If I recall correctly, these Hope and Abandon were essentially Morale's like cast-off artifacts. She was like, I don't want this shit. And like, it's. But I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but
they're the weapons that spoke to you more than they spoke to her. Well, she had the first choice, but did not choose them. She has a grim scythe.
Yeah, so
Different style.
different strokes as
Different style.
Not. No, I'm sure your own home life and home manners will suffice.
Of course. Just.
I wouldn't mind sharing, how our time went with the Games Master. I think that will provide some entertaining stories at the dinner table. I laugh loudly and, gaily.
Gale, good. I would make the argument, not that we need to argue about this, isn't really. They are treating the weapons with ultimate respect, and they're not taking it out of his sight. So in this case, it isn't really a desecration at this point.
Also, surprise, Prince of the Earth.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's more like a squire, sort of attending to the knight's weapons.
It would definitely be desecration if they tried to use the weapons.
Oh boy.
Not to mention, it would be difficult for them to do so. They can't attune to them. But for them to do anything other than care for them would be absolutely forbidden.
Are you all right, Oresta?
Yeah. Nothing like a good unexpected swim after being fired upon.
I was just about to say.
We'll get to the bottom of this, I'm sure.
Someone has answers, and they will be providing them, I'm sure.
There's a knock at the door once you've been dressed properly. Your swords have been returned to you. You have no weapons to be returned. But your armor has not been placed upon you at this time.
Okay.
This would be considered normal. You are surrounded by Cathak soldiers. But also, they're just like, we gotta make sure this thing gets cleaned. It's not designed to go into water. Because they're not artifact armor or anything like that.
Yeah. Shifting into more of like a proper noble kind of posture rather than my usual more fighting oriented posture. Chin up,
Yeah.
all of that.
Whereas I think I'm gonna slouch towards the door until I decide who it is,
The person on the other side it's not the admiral who originally greeted you, but it is somebody who clearly carries a lot of status. You do not recognize her, but she has a wide smile on her face. Looks like she's, somebody who's like an athlete and then they retire and like they definitely are still incredibly strong and very fit, but like let themselves go just a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
So she's been enjoying like retirement, as it were.
Good.
But as soon as you start opening the door, she pushes on it and the door slams open. They come home.
Here we are.
She lets loose. She has gorgeous cascading white hair that goes all the way down to the bottom of her shoulder blades. But as she twists her head back and forth, you can see there's tiny little ripples of all colors just underneath the white, as if they've dyed just the under bits of her hair.
That's fun.
She's dressed in Cathak finery, and she has at her side a very large loop with many, many keys from it.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm here on behalf of Kiri, your mother. Kiri, spelled Qiri.
Good.
When we caught sight of the ship that you arrived on, we of course were supposed to blockade it. We can't be too careful these days.
I haven't been gone that long. It doesn't feel like there used to be a blockade.
But it has only been a month or so since your school was destroyed.
We can't be too careful, of course.
But at the cost of firing when there are other Cathak on board?
You survived, didn't you?
I'm sure the Admiral wasn't trying to damage the ship.
You're here. That's what's important. And Kiri has demanded that we escort you immediately to your home pavilion. You must be so excited.
Thrilled. I would hate to keep her waiting.
How long has it been?
I mean, how long since calibration? I don't know. That's just like a quippy rejoinder. I don't actually know what that means. Sorry.
It actually hasn't been that long.
No.
It's been like 2 months
Yeah.
since calibration, but you could have
God
not
damn it.
gone home if you so chose.
I feel like we discussed this, and I feel like I did. So it only has been a couple of months. Feels like a lifetime. There you go.
Well, she's cleared her schedule. I'm certain that you'll have lots to talk about. Oresta, you have been requested as well.
As I have heard.
Your family isn't from around here, are they?
They're from around here.
I
Memory.
have to admit, I don't know your parents.
That's all right.
Who are they, child? I pride myself on knowing all of the princes of the earth in this area.
There you have your answer. My grandmother, however, was, and I'm going to name her. We haven't established a name for her.
Oh.
But perhaps you haven't kept up with the history books.
It's probably okay.
Well,
The past is the past. And now you have met a new one. Well met.
yes.
We're prepared to head to the pavilion now.
Yes, the pavilion. When we make landfall, and at that point you hear the sort of like clunk and sploosh of the anchor pulling down. Longboats. And she turns and flees the room.
Yeesh. I have a feeling you might need to pull that one out a couple more times today.
Probably be a little more tactful with your parents.
Well, okay.
Depending on how tactful they are, I
I'm
suppose.
not sure if I'm gonna be, but I'm gonna
That's
try.
okay, they're your parents.
That's technically true.
An honor guard is set up on the deck of the ship as the long
Excuse
ship is waiting for you. That just rows you the the 10 meters that it would take for
Perfect.
you to
Yeah.
to go to shore because the ship's not docking. It's going back out to rejoin the blockade.
Thank you.
And they so essentially it's just to make sure that you don't get your feet wet.
Yeah.
But they drag you out. The pavilion is actually not too far away. Your parents are quite well off, and they have a lovely block of land that's quite close to the sea itself. Imagine, like there's a wall that surrounds it with, one or two gates along the end, shingled roofs on the wall itself. It's less for defense and more just a show of opulence. Although clearly it would have some advantage if anyone decided to storm the pavilion itself. But walking through, there are gardens with immaculately maintained topiaries, bushes, hedges, flowers, and you can see that there are animals, some which aren't even necessarily native to the Blessed Isle, that are roaming in the gardens themselves. You're accompanied again by the woman who you were speaking with in that chamber. She's since made it clear that her name is Perna, Perna, that she has been coordinating efforts between your family and the rest of House Cathak in this new period of uncertainty.
Okay.
And that she has volunteered to escort you home.
Well, that's incredibly kind.
I would do anything for a fellow Cathak. Of course.
Well, hopefully it won't come to that.
It may very well.
Are times really that dire?
What news we have received from the annihilation of the House of Bells? We know that there are those who opposed the attack. We also know that the attack has come at the expense of students. And we know that the attack was spearheaded by one of our own.
I would love to read intentions to get a sense of her intentions for the scene.
Sure.
I would. I'm just gonna reach out and be like, it's very difficult for us to talk about, but I appreciate you giving us this information.
Like, do you reach out and like?
Yeah, I like
your
touch
hand.
your hand. Yeah, I mean that's probably a bit unusual.
That's a
but
great
I'm
stunt.
gonna do it anyway.
No, that works. You're making some contact.
Thanks.
There's no pandemic on the Blessed Isle.
Yeah. I don't know what you feel like this would be. I feel like
you're being pretty smooth about this.
finesse embassy, I imagine. I don't know. An embassy, but
Specifically, if you're reading intentions, you can choose finesse and integrity
Okay.
if you so choose. The other one that I would say that you could try is presence. You're trying to.
I mean, I'd love to try presence.
Yeah, you're using your own.
So yeah, so
charisma to try to draw her out.
right. So I'm gonna definitely then.
So
charm
finesse
her
presence,
slowly.
please.
Awesome. Thank you.
Her resolve, for the purposes of this, which cannot be modified because you're reading intentions, is 3.
I am going to bank my stunt and hopefully not regret that later.
I'm waking up.
And I'm going to keep my social influence nearby just in case. Oh yeah!
Those are successes.
Pyres!
She is
I'm
one of
gonna
the
say that every
chosen. Good, good. I believe I described the clothes that she was wearing would out her as a prince of the earth.
Okay.
So that's 6 successes.
Okay, so that means that your read intentions is successful, but you also have threshold successes. So you can choose to instill something, you can try to persuade her of something. First, let me give you your.
Yeah, let's do that and we'll talk about
Her goal for the scene is, I must deliver a happy Pyres and Oresta to his mother.
Okay.
That is the key.
Happy.
Happy. I
That's
would. Well, then what I'd like to do is I'd like to, with my bonus successes if possible, I'd love to persuade her to divulge as much information as she knows about the attack on the House of Bells. She seems a bit circumspect right now in terms of what she's telling us, right?
Yep.
That's what I want to do.
We have it under a certain amount of authority that the attack was ill-considered.
Sorry.
And we believe that Viren may have fallen to persuasion by another house.
A Kathak? Manipulated by another house? This is... Well,
What other explanation could there possibly be? We must distance ourselves from this attack. To think that Kathak would just take out the House of Bells out from under the entire realm at a time like this. Clearly this is the work of House Pellets. We believe that Viren is working with House Pellets, that he is defecting.
Do you have any idea who that point of contact might have been?
I wouldn't be aware. It's possible that others would be.
I hadn't noticed any particular connection, at least on campus. We'll have to discuss this
of
further.
course, yes.
You could not be expected to suspect a Kathak of all people.
Of course
And
not.
such a paragon of charisma, his presence, you know?
He was just the shining example, but now he is potentially a traitor. And when we finally get a chance to speak with him, we'll be able to determine what's what.
Good.
Now, she stops in front of huge double doors that are not leading into a building, but leading into what you would remember as the Zen Garden. You aware of what a Zen Garden is? Okay.
Big rocks, little pebbles, little
The-
small details.
The idea is that you spend your time rearranging the area in order to find the perfect balance, but also as a place to meditate or think. I'll leave you here.
Thank you. You've been very kind.
And she turns and walks away, the keys jangling at her side.
Well, at least we know that we don't have to worry about people pretending that Viren was some sort of hero.
Is?
Right?
Is?
Yep. Is some sort of hero. That's good. Small miracles. All right.
I will follow your lead.
Okay. I think you'll be better company than Moral would be at the tea table anyway. And I push the door open as I'm saying this.
The lines in the sand are immaculate. Perfectly placed. Every individual line the exact same distance from each other. The concentric circles are perfect around every rock. Like ripples, frozen in time on a pond. And standing on top of one of these rocks, on one foot, the other one tucked underneath her, and her hands folded in front of her as two flames rest just on top of her shoulders, balanced. The wax from the candles melting in a perfect spiral as she waves her body from side to side, although of course very slowly. This is wax after all, but manipulating them so that they're patterns as they fall. once again reflects the balance of everything in this garden. And Kitty opens her eyes, and you can see warmth as she lays eyes on Oresta.
Oh. Fucking rip.
I'd like to bow with significant respect.
My child, it is so good to see you returned safe and sound to where you belong.
Thank you. It is wonderful to be home.
You should get cleaned up. Dinner will be in 2 hours.
Right away. And I start to walk towards the Zen garden, like towards the lines in the sand, and then I don't.
Her eyes don't even flicker down to your feet, but instead almost try to form a wall that you cannot pass.
I definitely feel that, and I'm like, whoa. Okay. It is good to see you.
The jury's still out. We will need to talk.
Of course.
She glances down at your blades. Did they serve you?
They're magnificent.
They suit you.
Both of them. Thank you.
And then she looks. You remember what I spoke to you about the way you look. It is one of your greatest assets, Pyres. You should not be dressed in such common items.
Extenuating circumstances, but I will be fixing myself right away.
You'll never know who's watching. My child. And then she jumps off the rock, floating practically in the air until she lands with nary a sound next to you. The candles she swipes from her hands, snuffing them out, and instantly just pressing them back down on a small tray, the wet wax adhering and leaving them so that she can put her hands out, and then she extends both hands to you. Am I to understand that you are Oresta?
Yes.
I've heard so much in such a short amount of time. We're very proud of you. All
Thank
of
you.
us. Pyres, did I not say that you needed to get cleaned up?
I thought I would show my friend to... Of course.
Your friend is in safe hands.
The safest. Excuse me, then.
You were excused minutes ago.
I just turn around and I just start.
And as you turn around, your father, who is walking just along the pavilion, his hands are in very deep sleeves, and he's speaking, and he has 2 young women and 1 young man who are trailing him, and he is very animatedly telling a story. Although his arms don't move, his head is just swishing back and forth, and they seem to be drinking in every word, and then he sees you, and his eyes light up.
I sweep like a big bow of reverence, you know.
As you sweep in that big bow of reverence, both of the young women instantly lose their sight of your father, and then they turn to look at you, and there's this moment of like, oh,
What's this?
and then your father
Whisper.
winks at you, and he continues to walk on. Nothing interrupts his classes short of an attack. But the fact that he acknowledged you, that's a good sign, at least.
I'm off to my, one of my rooms. I'm sure I can find something suitable for my mother there.
3 servants pick up your trail as you start to head to your room. Is there anything that you need? We'll burn these immediately.
You may do with them as you see fit.
Shall we send the seamstress?
Please. And before you do, could I have half a dozen or so earthenware pots? Some sort of ceramic.
Of course. And
thank you.
He turns and just dips it right out of there.
That's great.
The other one says, I will fetch the seamstress now, and heads off. And then the last one following you, refreshments after your journey.
I snap, and then I remember how, that's not how I would have been at the House of Bells, but I reverted to it right away. Olives, dates, yes, please.
Of course, Master Pyres. And you are alone in front of the pagoda that is your...
I'm going to say the portrait of, my parents being portrait of me.
Yeah.
That'd be even better. No, sorry, yes, the pagoda.
That as you open the door to the pagoda, you can see that someone has redecorated in your absence. It's all still yours.
Okay.
But there are now an embarrassing number of paintings of your family.
Sure.
Your mother, your father, but especially of Moral, your sister, just lining the hallways. God. Each one of them, her looking somberly. No one smiles in these paintings, but instead very proper as they stare forward. Each one of them encouraging you to be a better man.
To be clear, are these portraits all of some combination of just the 3 of them?
Yes.
Or am I in any of these paintings?
No.
Oh my
Literally
God.
incredible. I actually can't believe this.
Flivian eventually recovers enough that she's ready to head into the city.
While she was chillin', I had gotten out some of my books that I had procured from my house. I snuck back in and got them. And I have been studying one in particular by Tepet Skyhawk, and it is called Order of Battle, a practical assessment and application of the 1,000 correct actions of the upright soldier.
Yes.
So I've been studying that and making some notes.
Okay.
So
It's important to be an upright soldier.
Exactly. So, I'm kind of jolted out of this reverie. Right. Lodgings. Yes. Let's try to find somewhere near the library.
Is it important for us to be less conspicuous about who we are?
I haven't decided if I'm going to give a fake name yet or not. I think not.
So it is all right that you are Ladal Gale Whispered.
I think so.
I will point out that that ship was fired upon and it was flying Pelops colors.
Yes.
And then she looks down at herself and looks up.
Correct. Well, no, you should not be Pelops. You should not be wearing Pelops colors.
I could just...
Does anybody have a change of clothes? Looking around.
We have what we're carrying with us. It's all right. Wear it inside out, and you can be our servant until we find you better clothes.
Yeah, we will go shopping for you.
We can't walk into the city with her nude.
No.
Why not?
Yes, definitely wear your clothes inside out. For now.
She just starts reversing her outer clothes. She's still like wearing undershirts and all of that underneath, but as she does so, she starts muttering things along the lines of, "It just gets heavy when I'm in the water anyway, and I don't understand the big deal about clothes." And then she finally puts them back on. "If it were to me, all clothing would be exactly skin tight so that we could keep moving around in the water without such frivolousness."
What about pockets?
Why would I need pockets?
To keep things in.
And she lifts up her tiger claws. "I don't think these would fit."
I don't even know you anymore. What about all your books and your notebooks?
What books?
Okay. Let's just go.
There are others.
Before one of us says something we'll regret.
Snacks.
Snacks.
Pockets.
Yeah, what about your buns?
They go in here.
What if you want to save some for later?
What is save for later?
Aha!
I don't understand.
It's all right. Let's just go.
As you walk towards the city,
My God.
and once you breach the forest line, it's just a few more paces towards the city itself, but it doesn't seem to have a guard set up on the outside here, unlike the blockade that is currently around the port. And no one seems to give you any second glance as you head in. You are, after all, dressed in nice clothes. Flavienne looks a little ridiculous with her clothes inside out, but at least that she's not displaying colors.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But
Inside out clothes. Sorry, I wasn't even here, but I'm sure that was a great conversation.
Oh, it was very bizarre.
Oh, boy.
But as you continue on, Siantel sort of whispers out of the side of her mouth, like, "So where do we go? Do we buy clothes first? Do we find a place to stay?"
I think we should find a place to stay first.
Well, that's easy enough. How much money do you have?
I'm pretty okay. I also stole some from under my mattress when I went back into my house.
Just like dipping into your parents' purse?
Pretty much. What?
Siantel starts to look around, and then she asks somebody, "What's the nicest inn around here?" And she gets the answer, and then that doesn't seem to satisfy her, and she then asks, "If we don't want to head here, where should we go?" And then you get the answer of another inn that's relatively close by. She thanks them and says, I'll need lodging for several weeks at least." And then she starts heading in that direction. Never stay in the nicest place in town.
Why not?
If you stay in the nicest place in town, it means that you are someone to be paid attention to. Always find the second nicest place. Important enough that you can still wield authority if you need it. Because after all, it could just be that you got the wrong advice. But you're not a player. Not until you need to be.
I heard the same thing about bottles of alcohol in restaurants. Don't ever buy the most expensive one because it'll look like you're just showing off. I don't know where I heard that. Maybe a book.
Always make the most deliberate choice. It makes you look like you're competent, as opposed to a follower. After you check into the inn, Flavienne is handed a bunch of money, and Siantel says, "Look, it's going to seem weird if we go with you. Head in, find a place where you can get clothing, make sure that it looks nice, and make sure that it doesn't give away anything about you being a prince of the earth."
If you're not back in 30 minutes, we're going after you.
It's going to take her 2 hours. Go on.
What?
All right.
I'm concerned.
And then she turns.
Very big store.
She heads out, and that's when Siantel just places 2 fingers on Gale Whisper's sternum and just pushes her so that her back is against the wall.
Oh.
Feels like a really long time since we've been alone.
It's so difficult to shop for clothes these days. After all, you need bespoke items, and
Of course.
it must be tailored.
Yes, and you need all the accessories. Like a headband. And shoes.
Earrings are so hard to choose. There's
Purses, wallets, pockets. Lots of pockets.
who doesn't love pockets?
Doesn't love pockets.
And then she just like
Yeah, you too.
Yes.
Oresta. You are being guided not through the Zen Garden. Nobody just walks through the Zen Garden, but you're on a
dare do
path that takes you. It's almost like a labyrinth. The path is, it's surrounding the Zen Garden, but it has a few hairpin turns here and there. It's almost like a labyrinth that you just have to negotiate
Slowly.
in such a way that you get to see the garden from all kinds of different angles. Trying times, I'm sure.
Yes. Situation was certainly unexpected. I think that the students reacted admirably.
You were the one who mustered them, as I understand.
Yeah. We've all been trained for warfare, but I don't think any of us anticipated it arriving the way it did.
Civil war is on the horizon, Oresta. We have to be prepared. And for that we need leaders. And we need heroes. My question to you is, which one is Pyres? Is he a leader? Or is he a hero?
I think he has potential for both.
She smiles, and for the first time there's kind of like a okay look on her face. We know that's not true.
I think that the two paths are in conflict within him and prevent him from excelling at either.
Pyres requires focus. He is out of control in his mind. He always has been. So unlike his sister.
Have you heard from her?
The last that I heard, Moral has been commanding a small legion, running reconnaissance work elsewhere on the Blessed Isle.
How long ago was this?
She didn't come home for calibration, so she's been out on these maneuvers for at least 2 years. No, she only just graduated. Like,
Yeah, she was.
1 year.
Yeah.
1 year. I need my son to be who he is supposed to be. But I'm worried that he does not have the focus to get there in time. It's time for us to It's time for us to make do with what we have.
Pyres was excellent at steering the students.
Sorry, Gil Edgood is bringing up.
Whoop.
Was that true?
I can't remember our first.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm sorry, because I remember we had a conversation at the beginning of the session where we
Yeah.
were crossing paths, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Here's your sword, sucker." I'm
Yeah.
paraphrasing,
Yeah.
but I don't believe that was when we were in first. When I was in first year.
When you were doing your test,
That was my entrance test in first
did
year.
anyone mention Morale still being at the school?
She was still.
She was still at the school
Yeah.
for sure.
I don't know if because there were time jumps in that
Yeah.
session.
Yes, so it might
That's
might
why
have felt like it
there
was
might
all
be
in
some
the first
confusion,
year.
but I don't think she's. But it would also make sense.
Yeah, she.
True,
Yeah.
right?
It would make
terms
sense
of,
that
like-
there would be some difference.
I thought
in
she
age.
was more than a year or two older for sure, based on just the.
Shall we retcon this?
Retcon.
What would you prefer?
I would prefer that we be not 7th year, first year, sort of like not 7 years of difference,
Okay.
but let's say maybe 4 or 5, whatever feels right in there. 5, I guess.
So, 2 years is we'll let that stand.
Pyres can drum up the attentions, the ferocity of a crowd. He can guide people. He can lead people. He can win the hearts of the army and make them fight not just for the house, but also for. He can inspire more than just.
Then he's a hero. And will you lead him?
If the house requests it, I am happy to oblige.
I don't know if I can make that request of you. I don't believe the Cathak could either. As far as I know, at the moment, those who are confirmed to be students of the House of Bells before it collapsed are in a gray legal area. I can protect you here. But I don't believe you're staying, are you?
The situation. We were attacked. We defended ourselves. But
You do not need to defend yourself to
Viren
me.
claimed that he had the backing of the regent.
And we believe that to be the case.
And we were told by Perna that there is suspicion that he was in allegiance with House Pelops.
Sometimes I wonder if that's a tale told to keep everyone here safe.
A distraction.
A known enemy is less dangerous than an unknown one.
We had no indication of any associations between himself and anyone of House Pelops. We didn't
Of
know.
any house?
The only person that we saw him in conversation with was Sinis Bracken. But we have
Sinis.
no reason to believe that she was part of the assault. She was on
Very
campus
Believe that, yeah.
at the time of the assault and was not assisting the attack.
Was she on your side?
Yes. He stayed off campus for the vast majority of time, only coming in for the games. The games in which he took particular interest in Pyres and myself.
He was looking for heroes too.
And he wasn't afraid to lie about it to get us on his side.
There's something else I have to ask you, but I need you to swear that you will not tell anyone. How is my son?
I can keep this a secret.
Pyres, several earthenware pots have been brought in. They're sitting in the center of your pagoda.
Awesome.
They're laid out in a line. And you're informed that the seamstress will be arriving within 10 minutes.
That's
You've
more
also
than
been
time.
brought dates, a spread of various different snacks. Of course, dinner is coming up in 2 hours, so this buffet would basically only be enough to completely wreck your appetite if you wanted it to.
I think Pyres is like stalking around sort of like a caged tiger. He's like snapping at the dates on the thing. Sometimes he's like walking over to a portrait and looking at it and then like putting a date seed back on the tray. The pots, it's going to draw Hope and Abandon and just very like as
Go ham on them?
well, no, not at first. I feel like there's a very graceful, kick one up into the air and then take both blades to smash it as it comes down. And then he repeats this process, but every time the swings just get wilder and wilder until there's just this rage as he's like, like smashing it into dust. And then there are no more pots. And he is still angry.
The servants watch this, and one of them leans over to the other one. I'll fetch a broom. And he turns and he very quietly walks away. Will you be requiring more pots, Master Pyres? Will you be requiring anything more substantial?
I don't think I'll have much appetite. So no, thank you, though.
Do you need anything harder to break?
No, it doesn't help. It doesn't help.
Then why did you do it, Master?
I thought it might.
But it did not.
That's correct.
Clearly the jugs are to blame.
Right. Is there a bust of me or Moral or anyone?
There are many busts of Moral.
Yes, please. Just absolutely infuriated.
Oh,
I see
boy.
you wish to accommodate the rest of your decor. I will be right back.
Mm.
He runs away, and now there's one left. What do you want from me?
Just advance with this. No, I'm just kidding.
Yikes. Something harder to break.
Start running.
Yikes.
No, I'm just
Poor
kidding.
Pyres.
It's just ridiculous.
It's time for me to hunt the most dangerous.
It's the most dangerous game. Oh, I love it. It's great for Pyres. I think he's just gonna go like sit down in a chair and just like gently put his swords away, and
Shall I call for a physician?
I'm well.
Are your shoulders tense still? Do
They
you
are.
need help?
Please.
So he walks around behind you and just balls his fists up and starts just mashing them into your back while you sit there and brood?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I'm gonna sort of just to have this massage for a few moments, and then how has my mother been of late?
Preoccupied. She is in constant contact with the rest of House Cathak.
The news must be devastating.
We were so worried. We were so worried that the house would look poorly because Viren was behind the attack.
I have no proof of what I'm about to say, but trust me to say it anyway. I don't think he was behind the attack. I don't think he's smart enough to have organized anything on his own.
I have the bust! And using the equivalent of like a hand cart, there's a plinth, and then on top is a very good likeness of Moral. It's just her, like it is just a bust. Her hair streaming out behind her, but set off from the bust, of course, is just the smallest representation of the arc behind her head, the weapon she chose.
I'm gonna just like gently sort of, touch my own shoulders like I'm good, stand up, and just walk over to the bust and admire it for a moment.
There is Moral, Her weapon, Light Stealer.
Ball my fist up, and I just want to smash. Just light steel. Like I don't want to punch my sister's face off.
You're like snapping the because
yeah.
like it's just made out of marble.
Yeah,
like
just.
Yeah, for you, that's
Prince of the Earth. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to smash the representation of the scythe.
Do you want to like send the scythe into the wall or?
I mean, that sounds awesome. I will
into one of the paintings.
That's exactly what
I mean, that would be no. I'm going to take it off and then throw it up into the air, and as it's coming down, just 3 equal pieces hits the floor.
Very good, Master. All right. You hear the sharp sounds of very, very thin heels clacking against the marble floor. What are you wearing?
What could be mustard? Help me.
The
I need
seamstress
help.
holds a very specific position here. Kathak Pylen is actually known as a she's quite a strong businesswoman, and she's actually responsible for quite a bit of trade that comes in and out of the city. But she is also known as the seamstress. Her gift when it comes to creating clothing and some whisper other things is unparalleled here in the city. Pylin, P-A-I-L-I-N-N.
I think Pyres gets along well with her, or I mean, thinks he does.
Did you decide to just wrap yourself up in swill?
When the situation calls for it, one does what one must.
She reaches out, snatches a torch from the wall, and just sets your clothes on fire.
Whoa. I mean, I'm not going to get burned, but I like take a step back anyway.
And then slams it back into its sconce.
My mother has made it very clear that I cannot come to dinner until I am properly outfitted.
Your mother is responsible for creating the greatest clothes you'll ever wear. And as your clothes just melt away from you and you stand naked before her.
Right, sure.
But this is too powerful. We must harness your energy. We must build the pyre upon which you will burn.
What can I do?
Get in a bath. You smell of salt.
I will I would turn my back on Pylin and head towards the baths, the baths.
She snaps her fingers. Yusri! Ensures that he does not escape the bath unscathed.
What?
And they start scrubbing the fuck out of you. Now,
You know that scene in Beauty and the Beast?
and the thing is, it actually feels amazing. Sure. You haven't had a bath like this.
Oh, that's fair.
In
I was
a
like,
very long
when
time.
was the last time I bathed? Ages ago. I've been at the House of Bells.
P-A-I-L-I-N-N. But, like, because at the House of Bells, you actually do have baths, right? Like, you're all still princes of the earth, but like, you don't get people like coming in to scrub you. Now, some students actually just arrange to scrub each other, being like, "Look, you scrub my back, I'll scrub yours." But I don't know if you had this arrangement with anyone. But
Her name was Single.
L-I-N-N, P-A-I-L-I-N-N. I mean, I don't actually care that much.
Can adjust things as well as necessary.
Yeah. She just stands there and looks at you. the water is like churning as they're working at it. Some of them are down in the bath with you so that they can. Whoa. So, you come back from the House of Bells. Once now you need help. This is going to be a challenge.
It's never been my forte. When I present myself, it's just me.
And perhaps it should just be you.
What?
Just naked.
An outfit made of my own skin.
The best suit I could have.
Gale
Paintings
Whispered.
of you.
I
Yes.
am the best of House of Back. God, is that a stick? Sorry.
I have to ask,
Yes.
considering that Siantel said it'll take at least 2 hours, does that mean that she lets her guard down?
Does Gale let her guard down? Oh dear. Probably. Poor wee bird.
All right.
Are we back?
Kate, I'll have you roll 1 die, please. If you roll a 6 or below,
Oh no.
it will take her 2 hours. If you roll a 7 or a 9, it will take considerably less time. If it'll come up a 0, who knows?
3.
Yay!
Ooh.
And hopefully we don't get shanked in the process either.
Shanked.
After about an hour, Siantel just wrapping herself up in you. This feels bigger. This feels bigger than the house.
Like the world? Or like this?
This is just you and me. This is bigger than everything, but I've never been fired upon just for trying to get into a city. Blessed Isle is our home. Are we no longer welcome here?
Something's wrong. It's like what Vierin and Nekarb were talking about. This idea of different factions, but everybody knows their own version of the truth. And they all have their own enemy, but the real enemy is some kind of puppet master who's pulling the strings. If Cathak is blaming Pelops, then Pelops is probably blaming Cathak. Somebody knows that Aselsi's involved, and others don't.
This isn't going to be a war won with swords.
No.
It will be fought with them. But I don't think that's how it's going to be won.
I think you're right. And we were just students. I mean,
No.
we see more of the picture than a lot of people because we were at the House of Bells. We need to find our own way of fighting and of surviving.
I was told that I should use my youth while I have it, because it makes me flexible.
You're flexible. I'm sorry. Yeah.
10 minutes later,
Oh,
Hey.
Ray.
Cheers, everyone.
Flavian walks in. Oh.
Oh, no.
No.
Let's roll another 2 dice. Yeah. It's funny.
we still have the ability to consider things others haven't. We haven't been set in our ways.
In fact, we've done a lot of deprogramming lately, I think. The way that we were raised and the things we were taught, we came to realize something very different at school. That's
School is meant to break us
strength.
down, but they never had a chance to build us back up again.
Exactly.
Huh. Do you really think about the green dress?
10 minutes later.
Mm,
Ideally.
damn.
So I was thinking about Gateway.
You should hydrate.
I was about to say, don't forget to hydrate, everybody.
So I was
Gateway.
thinking about Gateway.
Should I be flattered or should I be worried?
Should be very flattered.
All right, I'm flattered.
I was thinking about there's a lot of things on this board that we don't know, but there's some things that each of us know better than a lot of other people. And maybe we can use that to gather information and to influence others. I know that Excelsi hides a lot of their information from each other and that you only have access to a limited amount of it. But the fact that you know definitively of its existence, that does give you an advantage. Right there. And you have the training that you received.
Are you asking me to make contact with them?
Not necessarily. I'm just listing all of the things that sets us apart and yet can help us in the days ahead. I know Gateway. And as dumb as it sounds, I think I can use it.
It's not dumb.
Well, you haven't heard my plan yet.
If your plan involves you using Gateway, it's not dumb. But you can tell me your plan anyway.
I want to create a new gateway opening called Viren's Sacrifice and tell the story of what he did.
Yes.
Huh.
Nerd.
Who said that?
Can you? And she just holds your gaze with her eyes. Can you tell me that one more time?
I want to create a gateway opening called Viren's Sacrifice and tell the story of what really happened at the House of Bells.
She presses a very deep kiss on you and then just leans over and then gently tugs at the bottom of your earlobe with her teeth before whispering, "That's not stupid at all."
I'm so glad you think so.
We need to get you out there playing. But you need to develop the opening, right?
Mm-hmm.
How good of an opening are we talking about?
I think I want it to start strong, but experienced players, it won't be a challenge against them. There's some obvious mistakes and blunders, just like Viren. Think of this as my revenge for what he did to Gateway in Game 2.
What a nerd.
Siantel,
I love it.
Pettiness!
Siantel
Fucking amazing.
gets up, just leaves the strewn clothing and bed behind, and
Game 3, sorry.
and
Thank you.
filters out, and then lifts up. Did you bring the gateway board with you?
Oh, yeah.
Brings it over
Also in
and
Pyres'
just
hair.
sets it down on a table just off the bed. Sits behind the table and just starts setting up the board. We can play as many times as you have to.
Thank you.
Okay, now I have to ask one more question.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing Gateway.
Nude.
Do you remember to put your clothes on?
1000% no.
Okay.
No. My mind's all cloudy now. I'm really excited for multiple stimuli. It's just there's no way.
I'm sorry. What is the what?
Sexy
So as
times to
mental,
Gateway.
So as you and Siantel,
my own intellect.
Siantel,
It's just
to her
like-
credit, has now focused on the game. She's not she's not as good as you.
No, I've been teaching her.
Yeah, but she's definitely decent at the game. I want you to roll me your. I want you to roll me your fortitude and your awareness.
Oh.
Is that even a thing anymore? No, it's
Yep.
not.
Awareness
it is
is still
Awareness
a
is
thing.
a thing.
Sorry, just you looked and I was like, oh no, I've screwed up again. Fortitude awareness, please.
If this is to see if I detect Flavienne coming back, I'm specifically not stunting.
Yeah, it's fine.
You want my stunt dice?
That's 2 successes.
Well, that ain't a success in this particular case.
Hooray!
Wow.
But by the time you have finished your first rounds of play, it's well past dinner,
Sorry.
and you hear finally when it's a moment that Siantel begs for the chance to be like, I need something to eat. I have to.
Can we do one more game?
And that's when you hear from just outside the door the sound of bread ripping.
A little weirdo.
Hello?
Are you done yet?
Oh my god. How long have you been out there?
It's been a few hours.
Oh no! A few hours.
Didn't you knock?
Damn it, Flavienne.
I opened the door
Ooh.
and then I closed the door.
Oh,
Seemed that you were practicing openings.
Ding dong. You open the door. 2 of your friends are naked and playing chess. Like, what is happening? I mean, it's Gateway, but like. So
Sounds like Friday night.
ding dong. Punchy.
I
Sure.
think she's
Sorry.
doing while watching Punchy. Naked chest.
Naked chess. Good lord. I mean,
Well, and I grab like a blanket. Right. I mean, you could come in if you want.
Your bodies do not embarrass me.
But you left.
Who am I to interrupt intense gameplay? Besides, I found food.
no.
Did you find enough food for 3 of us, or should we?
She looks down and like there's clearly enough food for the 3 of you, but there's just this moment of sadness that comes over her for a second.
God.
Just like, but I found it. But it's mine.
You made this? I made this.
It is all right. Tell me why you were playing Gateway. Well, we were naked, but that wasn't part of it. Tell her your plan. And then Siantel just turns around, walks off, and just starts pulling her clothes on. Flavienne glances over, looks back, and just gives you like a.
Gale blushes crimson.
And then Flavienne just rests one hand on top of Gale Whispered's. Just a gentle, like, approve.
Oh. It's nice.
Tell me your plan.
I want
And
to
then
use
she vaguely, like, reaches over and pulls some clothes over and just, like, places them next to you.
I want to use Gateway to turn House Kazak against Viren.
Okay.
Great. Carry on.
No one in the town, no one, knows much of anything of what happened at the House of Bells. Not the truth. Don't worry, I didn't speak to anybody. I not from the ground. But it's all anyone's talking about, and no one has it right. The fog of war is real.
Did anyone Did you hear anyone mention Viren at all? I don't know how well known his exploits were in the general populace.
I only heard his name mentioned once. Because he's apparently here. In the city.
That's not true.
Oh.
How could they have it wrong?
Exactly. We saw him die.
Oh, I hope this isn't a Bracken Nicarb situation. I can't take any more clones.
Is that the most likely situation, or is it?
Honestly, Flavienne, anything is likely at this point.
Well, obviously, I walk in on you playing Naked Gateway, and this is your plan to stop a civil war, so...
It won't necessarily stop it. But it will ensure more people hate him, which hopefully means more people like us.
Is being naked part of the game?
Gale mutters something about aerodynamics.
Go right back to you.
Oh, good. Speaking of aerodynamics, Pyres is still in the map.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
hey,
air
we're all
dried
nude.
with
That's so
large
exciting.
palm
Oresta,
fronds or
quick.
whatever. Get naked, apparently.
Yeet! 2 out of 3 are nude.
Oh,
3 out of
okay.
3 are nude.
You are
I will probably get changed.
wrapped in silk. But it is just one length of it that stretches across your chest and spirals away from your body, growing heavier at around your midsection, your waist, your groin, and then building up as if it's just one wisp of flame curling around your body and then letting loose over your left shoulder. It leaves almost nothing to the imagination.
Nice.
It is
I like
bold. If it was a cold place, it would not provide much protection out of anything. But she looks at you. It is the best I can do with perfection.
I'm supposed to be strong because I went to the House of Bells. But this is beautiful, and I want to thank you. And I think Pyres is like genuinely quite moved.
If you cry on my clothes, I will kill you.
He's gonna do one of these. He's gonna pull one of these.
She's joking, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Well, I don't want to test this person for sure.
What have they done to you?
What do you mean?
Your time at the house. You come back, you are different, you're changed. What happened?
They tried to make me a leader, maybe. And I don't think that's my path.
Look at me. Is this your path? Or is this, difficult? And you do not want to do something difficult.
Difficulty doesn't frighten me. Nothing frightens me.
I never said it frightened. What I'm asking is this something that you want, but it is a difficult road? Or is this something that you do not want, and you believe there's something else for you?
It's not what I want.
Then tell me. The son who has not yet earned his place on his own wall, what is it you want?
I want to be able to make people listen to me. I can do that when I walk into a room, but they don't listen to what I say. They just listen to how my body moves.
You have a very pleasing body, I'm not surprised.
I know. Thank you very much.
Your voice, it is melodious,
Well,
but you want them to listen to the content of your words.
I have much that I want people to know.
Have you tried giving them what they want?
what they want is for me to stand atop a mighty steed on the battlefield and scream victory.
That's what your parents want. That's what your house wants. What about the people you're trying to talk to? What do they want from you? Is it to see your glorious body?
Probably.
Is it to listen to your melodious voice? What is it they want?
Probably those things, yeah.
Have you tried giving it to them?
I do in everything that I do. How do you more directly?
Why do you listen to anybody?
Because they have something that they can teach me. It's something that I need to know.
Because you're interested in what they have to say.
Yeah.
How do you know they have something interesting?
You just know. I just look at them and I know, oh, this person is worthwhile.
Then, they must make you worthwhile before you open your mouth. So that when you do, they will listen.
Dude.
Oresta. Child, I'm aware that your parents are still here in the city. I haven't told them yet that you've returned. I didn't want to presume. Shall I invite them to dinner?
I suppose it depends what your intention for this dinner is. If it's to discuss the matters that we've already been discussing, then I think not.
I'm giving you an opportunity to rest, child. It has been a difficult month for us here. I cannot imagine what it has been for you. Where there will be time that we will have to discuss what occurred. There will be strategies. There will be meetings of war. But they don't have to be today.
I deeply, deeply appreciate the kind offer, but I don't think it would be best tonight.
Of course. What can I give you? What can I do for you?
Candor, where possible. Shared information. If you want me to lead, I need to know what is happening. If you need me to be the hero, I need to know which aspects to highlight, which aspects not to ever mention.
We're trying to find out what happened. Because we don't know. There will be a time that we will interview you, and your participation will be most appreciated. But I also have to do something about my son. I'll leave you to ensure that you are ready for dinner.
Thank you.
There will be four servants will attend you as you see fit, and they will guide you to dinner when it is ready.
Much appreciated.
Oresta,
Yes.
I understand that you do not burn as most of Cathak burns, but perhaps you are the foundation upon which we will lay our just.
I'm gonna very nimbly cut a path I want to cut a path over the garden in a way that isn't just down like the labyrinthine path, but also not disrespectful to the Zen garden itself.
So like a direct departure.
Yeah, but yeah.
Are you trying to make a statement or a
Just I guess it's
I don't do labyrinth bullshit.
no.
Actually, yes.
I will forge my own path but also like I won't do it without consideration of.
You can easily step over
Yeah.
the turns
Yeah.
and the hairpins.
Yeah.
You can just step over the lines without stepping on them.
Yeah, well, it's that, and it's also like because usually they're like large boulders and stuff, and so that's kind of my plan is to like make a path along from boulder to boulder back to the.
So you're not going around the garden
No.
to leave. You're going through the garden,
Yeah.
but you're stepping on each of the boulders.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're comfortable enough around stone, and you have plenty of athletics.
Mhm.
So yeah, this isn't a problem for you. Plenty of
I'll give
athletics,
her-
by the way, in this case is more than 0.
and then I'll give her one more bow before I head off to.
She glances, and at first there's kind of like a raised eyebrow of like, why are you crossing my garden? And then when she sees that you don't actually disturb it, she's like, I think I get it. All right, approving nod.
Sweet.
But as you leave the garden, ho! And you see a quite a handsome gentleman with big long sleeves being followed by 2 young women and 1 young man.
Oh, I love it.
Class dismissed. I know there's a dinner tonight, and I know you're not invited, and that is to your benefit. So for the 3 of you, make sure that you get your work in order, and I will see you here bright and early, 4 hours past sunrise. Hello,
Hello.
I'm Dawan. Dawan.
Cute.
Now, when I give names, I spell them.
Yay!
I'm Oresta.
I am the worse half of this family, and I'm very pleased to see you. Do you need a tour, or does it actually take you an hour and a half to get ready for dinner?
In most cases, it would not, but seeing as the dress code seems to be very high caliber, I would like to not make ill impressions upon my hosts.
There's already going to be clothes laid out for you. I mean, what you're wearing is perfect.
Was
But of course it
shoved
won't-
upon us after we were fished out of the water, after being fired upon, after having to abandon ship.
So you had a day.
Exactly.
Shake
Not
it
dinner
off.
attire.
And he just continues to walk along, and
I'll
there's sort of
fall
like-
in step.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's sort of like this expectation of like, you're coming with me, right? And he starts showing you like over here. This is where we store all of the various business attentions that we have here, and over here you can see that we've got our. These are our servants' quarters, and the servants' quarters are actually quite well maintained. So the princes of the earth can choose. Like, there are people who are quite unsavory and they do not treat their staff well, and there's even more unsavory things that we won't get into here. But
Yeah.
it seems that at least
This
here,
household.
this household, everyone is treated with a certain amount of respect.
Good.
They seem to have quite nice lodgings. No one seems terrifically unhappy except maybe Pyres, but you can't see him at the moment.
Also, is that just him? I
I'd
don't know.
like to keep a mental note because you mentioned like where we keep our business papers. Yeah, I want to keep note of anything that would have documentation should we need to sneak in.
Yes!
Or not sneak in.
I'll be there.
And I mean, I know Pyres knows the house, but still, and anywhere. Yeah, so I guess I'm showing interest in what he has to tell me, but I'm secretly like trying to keep track of.
So you've started a life as somebody of interest.
Seems that way.
And you're not used to this?
No. I had heard much about your children as wonderful prospects for the house. My name was not included among those prospects.
Your name wasn't included among prospects because you were too special for everyone else. That's what happens when we find one of us born of, well, of equally and yet not as important people. I'm sure that's how it's been described to you.
Something like that.
You're given a gift. dragons have blessed you. Or one of them has. I'm not very up on the whole. Look. Everyone around here is going to respect you for what you did. Where you come from, because it's a mystery, they'll latch on to it.
I could be the everyman. But somehow more heroic, something to aspire to, something to look up to, but not unattainable. It's an angle that can be worked. It's in all the novels.
So why are you a friend to Pyres? You who are so eager to fit the role that's needed, and my son so eager to find the role he does not know.
We were put into a fang together.
What fang?
I'm trying to decide whether or not to own the name or whether to go with our replacement name.
Well, one is a fang, one is a hearth.
Yeah, I know.
They're two different
We were
things.
once known as, maybe?
Formerly known as.
The band formerly known as.
Our fang was given the auspicious title of the Lost Hand.
There was a lost hand when I was at the House of Bells.
Were they real or just a boogeyman?
Really bad.
Well,
They disbanded.
Burn. Oh.
No one ever managed to make the Fang of the Lost Hand work.
I suppose we were disbanded as well. It's a curse.
Do you feel cursed?
No. But the name might be.
He withdraws from his sleeve a small flask and he offers some to you.
I'm going to politely decline.
It's probably for the best. It would probably burn your insides out. And he takes a swig and just... and a little bit of smoke just curls out of his nose.
Rock doesn't burn easily.
Well,
Fair.
but it can still get scorched.
Indeed. So you teach?
More of a student.
Student of life?
What? No, I'm more of a student. Everyone else learns next to me. I did my time. I fought in the legions. I came home. And then I wasn't needed in the legions any longer. And so I am here. My gift was never command.
We all have our strengths.
My strength is supporting my wife.
She doesn't seem the type to show that she needs it. But I'm sure that you are there exactly where and when she needs it.
It's because I'm so good that no one ever knows that I'm there.
True master.
Just a student. He's doing all right, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah. Of course he is. He's a Baggins.
He is. He doesn't always show it, but I think, to pat myself on the back, I think he's found good people.
Oh.
There are 3 other companions of ours,
Where are they?
separated for now, but if we are able to get back into contact with them, they are not of House Cathak. But we would hope that
But they're your companions.
they were part of our fang. They've helped defend the student body.
And they continue to travel with you.
Not at this time. We were separated. But should they make their way here, they knew we were headed here.
Would they follow you?
I don't know. But
Oh, if they're companions of yours from war, then we must gladly accept them here.
Thank you. I think I know it would put myself at ease, and I'm sure it would also put Pyres further at ease.
I don't think anything is going to put Pyres at ease while he's here.
I think every young prince is like that at home.
Not Pyres.
Pyres disease. Captions. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
So you're upset because people aren't listening to you.
Exactly.
And you wish that they would. And you think you have something valuable for them to listen to.
I just think there are brilliant minds here in the realm, and that we need to unify, not be divided. Does that make any sense?
It makes sense, even if it's stupid.
Why is that stupid? I'm sorry. Immediately like...
You're the master of this place. You outrank me at this point. Why do you cast your eyes down?
Experience. You have it.
Well, yes. Look at me, I'm amazing.
I defer to you in those things, then.
As you should.
Hmm.
Pyres. You have so many gifts. And you are looking for the path with which you wish to walk. Does it have to do with your gifts at all?
It would be a very difficult path if it didn't. But perhaps that's to be my
There are
life.
plenty of people who do not accept what they are excellent at. I'm very good at digging holes. Do you see me digging holes? No. That work is beneath me. I do not dig holes. Others dig holes for me.
I didn't realize that was something one could excel at.
Then you truly do not understand the lower classes. For some, that is their life. They dig holes, they go home. They dream of holes. They come back. The holes have been filled in. They must dig more. And they do. Over and over. That is their life. Just because I am better at digging holes than they does not mean I will take their lives from them.
No.
So tell me, Pyres, what do you want to do? Or is it holes that you wish to dig?
It's not holes. It's creation.
You wish to dig creation?
No. The realm once encompassed all of creation. It didn't.
That was an aside for them, right?
Correct, not for you, no.
All right.
It was for the people in the corner, in the back row.
This camera crew that
The camera crew, yeah, it's now like
follows me.
the realm once encompassed all of creation. It must do so again. The only way to do so is with leadership. Strong leadership.
You're a city boy. The realm did not encompass all of creation.
Well, maybe it should have.
You wish to be a conqueror.
No. I wish for the realm to expand. There's a difference.
What difference is there other than conquer?
One doesn't have... This is what I'm trying to tell you.
You want a cultural victory.
Damn! I'm sorry. Oh, God.
Science victory!
Flip those cities. Let's go.
Was it that you wish for the UN to vote you?
Culture bomb!
Oh, God. Okay. If the message you bring is one that people want to hear,
Yes.
you needn't conquer them.
See? You wish for them to join you.
Exactly. And the person who is going to lead us out from here, out from the Blessed Isle, back out into the threshold, into the realm, to the wild, that person is not the regent.
Jesus.
It's you?
I don't know my path. But the look in my eyes says maybe it is. Shit.
Oh my god.
You wish to be the Scarlet Emperor?
No.
Crimson Emperor. Vermilion Emperor.
More my color, yeah. Sorry, everyone.
No.
Puce Emperor.
Puce.
Hylan,
Yes.
I don't know my path, but I know that it involves bringing peace to creation, bringing power to those who need it to right wrongs, overcoming those who wish to stand in our way, not because they have legitimate concerns, but because they are obstructionists.
Obstructionists.
People who oppose us for no reason other than there will be those who oppose the realm always and forever. That is the nature of creation. And I've seen what happens when someone believes it is in their right to fell any tree in the forest as they see fit. That one's sick, cut it down. That one needs to be burned, burn it. That is not what needs to be done.
So you wish to be a leader, but you do not wish to be a conqueror. You're a complicated man, Pyres.
That's what I keep trying to tell people, and they don't believe me. And I look at myself in the mirror. I am complicated.
I can't add anything.
I mean, honestly, this is ridiculous.
So good.
What the hell? I have to synopsize this. What just happened?
So as you can see, the fewer articles of clothing that you are wearing, the more dexterously you can move pieces across the board.
Is it that you just enjoy spending time with Siantel?
That too.
Siantel at this point is eating voraciously, and by voraciously, Flavienne just straight up goes for it. Siantel still has propriety, so there's like I'm cutting and I'm doing this, but like she's focused on eating. She's very hungry.
Worked up an appetite.
Mm-hmm.
Ayo. 3 times?
Whoop.
I admit I'm jealous.
Why? You grab a bit of food.
She's quite an attractive person.
You.
So are you. It must be nice to be able to spend time with attractive people.
Well, all of our hearthmates are very attractive, and we spend time with each other.
I don't see you spending a whole lot of naked time with.
Well, not naked time. I mean, Pyres spends naked time with people, but that's just because he's often naked.
Excuse me.
Is it serious?
Uh,
She's speaking quietly enough, by the way, that Siantel is not potentially able to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel comfortable answering that without discussing it with her first.
So it is serious.
Aww.
Is it exclusive?
I-
Once again, same answer.
Yeah.
Is this your first time?
Why do you care?
Because you're my hearthmate?
Here right now in this room? No.
You are so afraid of spies.
Incredible.
There's some things that are new to me, yes.
We're both very lucky.
Thanks. Lucky to have you as a hearthmate.
Yes, you are.
You're lovely.
What?
You're lovely.
No, I do you know the expression "still waters run deep"?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not still. I move, I flow. I always flow.
Can't you be lovely and flow?
But not very deep.
Doesn't matter.
What are you saying?
Because you move quickly, you still see everything.
I did not see this.
Well, that's okay.
Do you have enough? Do you need more?
I'm good. I was thinking, should we say that you're a member of Ladal?
Of Ladal? The thought, like, amuses her for a second.
The great thing about my house is everyone thinks we're really weird, so people don't take the time to get to know us.
I suppose you could teach me to be Ladal.
Well, just act like you know everything.
You mean it's all an act?
No, not for all of us.
I see. Do you really think I'm lovely?
Yeah. And like I said, I know everything.
May I have you roll your force and your, I think, presence.
Oh. Hey, any stunts for what I said?
Sure.
Okay.
I was gonna say there is a bank stunt.
Yes, there's a bank stunt. I can give you a stunt. Oh, I can't now, but like,
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to fail this. Oh, Fluff.
I don't really know what.
Please,
You
I
can
love
do.
you.
How many dice are you rolling? Oh, I see. I understand.
I got one success, so at least I didn't botch.
She sits a little bit closer, and then she whispers, "If I'm the doll, then what is Siantel?"
Well, she can stay Sinis, maybe.
So she can be who she is, and we can be who we are.
Right.
Flavian leans over and she just gives you a very gentle kiss on the cheek.
Oh,
Oh. What was that for?
I think you're lovely too.
Hand her the last roll.
This is literally poaching our ally.
yeah.
And then she just looks up and she just gazes a little bit into your eyes as she chews that last bit of bread.
Welcome to the house.
I'm honored.
It's okay.
Thank you. And she just lays her hand on yours again.
I'm gonna finish putting on my clothes because I probably got distracted halfway through.
I mean, I'm sure you like
One
have
arm
some
through a shirt, like just whatever.
Hello.
Hello.
Uh,
Jeez Louise.
I'm gonna pack up my gateway board.
Are you ready to introduce this? Do you want to head out tonight?
Yeah, do I need to make any rolls at this stage to see how well I came up with this or
Oh, sorry. Siantel was asking you that. Not.
Oh shit, I thought that was you.
We'll deal with the mechanics in a second. Don't
Oh.
worry.
God.
There's mechanics.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, mechanical. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're meeting them at noon tomorrow at the library. So, if we're gonna do anything, yes, now's the time.
Pubs.
Pubs.
Find people who are already halfway drunk.
Okay. I'm not great in pubs, but hopefully you can help.
You're there to play a game.
Mm-hmm.
And if I bet on your games, it's
You'd bet on my games.
bet on you any day.
Kate / dead. Mike / dead.
Gil's gonna kind of like lean her head on her shoulder. I hope this works. This isn't gonna make things worse, is it? It might make things worse.
What could possibly make things worse?
Well, it's gonna draw attention to us.
You'll always have attention drawn to you. You're Gale Whispered.
I could always change my name. I was very unremarkable at the House of Bells.
It isn't your name. I don't think you have any choice. You will always be important.
In that case, let's throw caution to the wind and loudly and publicly declare our enmity to Viren using my favorite game in the world.
So, in other words, not loudly. Publicly, but not loudly, because we're hiding it within the context of a game that eventually will spread, and then the story goes as well along with it.
Yes. I guess so.
That's what loud means to Kate.
That's what loud means.
It works for me.
I put down the pieces very aggressively sometimes.
Lead the way.
To the nearest pub. Whew.
So as you get up, as you head out, Siantel and Flavienne watch you for a moment as you head out, and then they look at each other, and then they get up and start heading out after you.
What's the look? Is it a kind of like, ugh, or is it a like,
No,
I think you know what the look is.
read intentions look.
Yeah. Oh, read into
So this is a venture.
yay.
Let's get some venture music up. Here we go. What can we use for this?
Venture,
Oh.
venture.
That was a jam, John. I don't know what that track is called. That was
It's
a real jam.
Gale's theme, I believe.
not.
No? Okay.
No, that's sexy love music theme.
Oh.
Right, sure. That's how you spell Siantel, right? Sexy love.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Here's the eventual goal of this venture is to have your opening move, Viren's Sacrifice, spread across the Blessed Isle.
Incredible.
But for it eventually to become Viren's Folly, because it in fact is not a useful move against a seasoned player, somebody who actually knows what they're doing.
So
Yeah, and I think Gale has created a sort of entire play style that goes with this opening, which she's hoping to sort of like casually talk her way through like as she's playing.
so good.
So it all refers to events of the House of Bells. So it starts with an opening, but it's a very distinct opening, and everyone's like, ugh, Viren's Folly, this must be a noob, you know?
Yeah.
So
Only a fool would open with beer and sacrifice.
So what we're actually going to go for now is we're going to have you, when you have the occasion to play Gateway in a public setting or with notable players, right? If you're just playing with like members of your hearth, it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
But if you're playing in a public setting or if you're playing with somebody notable, then you'll have the chance to spread knowledge of this opening
Okay.
and to have it go forward. We're going to see if we can accumulate a certain number of successes. Once that's done, the opening move is out there. The second part of the venture will be you then putting the second part of it, destroying your own opening, revealing its weaknesses, and continuing the story along with it.
Yeah.
So your first is going to be a finesse war roll. Once you have accumulated 10 successes, you will have successfully spread this. Each roll will be one night of play.
Okay. Sorry?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, just-
Are there stunts on venture rules?
Oh yeah, and you've already stunted for this one, so
There we go. That's 7 successes.
did I say 10? I meant 25.
I meant 25.
now the one thing that I do have to check is it successes over the 3 or is it total? So let me just check ventures very quickly, because I guarantee you that if I don't check, I will get it wrong, and everyone's going to be like, "Bah." Yeah. So it's 5 towards the goal. I believe that's correct.
Great.
That you still have to earn the 3 successes to get
Should be 1.
Okay.
I mean, that makes sense.
and then your threshold. So
Perfect.
you are halfway to your goal in one night, which
Okay.
means that it is an especially successful night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gale, good. I was pretty sure of that. We're gonna go with that for now because I don't really feel like we're gonna do.
If both of you are on the same page, I feel like that's a pretty good sign.
So
Yeah, I thought it was just a quantity of obstacles, so it's a number of rolls. So
yeah, this is an extended action that she
Yeah.
has to take to get past the first level of the venture. I don't have to actually say how many things are in the venture, because if she fails a roll, you can add.
you
an
have a
obstacle,
base
like-
number. You set a base number of obstacles. There can be more, but there is always a base number, but it can change over the course of it.
Yes. But I'm not certain I have to reveal what that base number is to the player.
I'm not sure either.
believe
But
I
it's
do.
also quantity of obstacles, not number of successes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The thing is, the first obstacle that I've
Yeah.
described is
Yeah.
disseminate
this.
the moves.
Yeah.
The second is disseminate the counter.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then beyond that, there
Yeah,
may be more.
yeah.
But for the first one, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Do
over
you
the
need?
course-
Oh, sorry.
Over the course of the night, Siantel starts pulling players to the table. Flavienne is responsible for making sure that everybody is well taken care of, because Siantel is also fleecing everyone out of their money. You
We're
don't
rich.
lose a game all
Absolutely
night.
incredible.
It's a brand new opening, a new setup of the board. Gateway isn't played where like it's always the same setup. You actually place the pieces on the board to make your formation before you start. So it's a weird formation. People are like, what the hell is that? The thing is, as much as Siantel is bilking everyone out of their money so that they remember what happened, Flavienne is keeping everyone happy so that they're not too upset about having lost their money. You're the one who's actually going over the, like, talking about what's happened.
Yeah.
Because if it's Gateway, well, that's something that Gale Whispered can talk about.
It's true.
Every opponent you face loses. Every single one. And every time they lose, they stand off to the side and just gaze down at the board as the same opening gets going again and again. And then by the time you've defeated 4 people, someone finally says, "What opening is that?"
Oh, you haven't heard of it?
No, I've never seen this before.
It's this brand new one that I learned not too long ago. It's called Viren's Sacrifice. It's based off of the events of the House of Bells.
What?
Well, you've heard of Cathak Viren.
Of course, who hasn't heard of Viren?
Exactly. So this opening is based off of his heroic actions at the House of Bells.
Bold move, Gale Whispered.
And when you say that, Siantel just is like, it does the Miyagi like smile.
Yes. Oh my god.
It's dinner time.
No.
It's dinner time.
I have snuck off and gotten into whatever I guess was prepared for me.
Nice clothes, not as nice as Pyres.
Well,
It's you don't have
I'm
a
wearing
literal dragon-blooded like tailor standing
yeah.
in front of you making your clothes.
But if they give me options, I definitely choose something sleeveless.
There's a few options.
Nice.
Yeah, sleeveless, sure.
Have to check your guns at the door.
Can't. Sorry.
Can't.
Coming with me.
Don't need a permit for these guns.
God. Oh boy.
Someone call a vet because these pythons are sick.
It's a new one to me.
God damn it.
She does this a lot.
Sorry, I was just entertaining the servants as
Sure,
they were
sure.
helping me into my clothes.
They're all like,
Imagine a long table. A long table where your mother, Kiri, is sitting at the very head. Your father, Dewan, is sitting at her right. And then table. And then... it's not like... It's like the length of this.
Not like
It's not Beauty and the Beast or whatever.
No. No, it's not that.
Pass the salt.
It's not like no, it's not ridiculous. But
Yeah.
there's definitely like we're sitting here at the head of the table and you're sitting over there because that is where you sit.
And Pyres is at the children's table.
But there's
Very
no one
small.
else seated here. There are servants who are lining the hallway, coming in to replenish somebody's wine or to make sure that food is brought in and out. There are musicians who are playing string instruments.
That's nice.
A gukin is being played.
Spared no expense.
They live here.
Oh, sure. Spared no expense then.
Well, this is not what's planned. Oh, we'll put that on. Behind you on the wall, there's a portrait of your mother, your father, your grandparents are all, and there is a very distinctive frame.
Yeah, I was just about to ask. Okay, cool.
Welcome, please. And your father just immediately just like he does not have the same, either he doesn't care or he doesn't know. He doesn't care. And he's not like being rude, but he's definitely not being proper. Like picking up this. He's from the Flavienne school of like, I'm eating and that's good. I see two heroes in front of me. You have escaped from a horrible situation. Quite possibly the last graduating class of the House of Bells.
There will always need to be training for more soldiers, more leaders.
Whatever school replaces the House of Bells will not bear that name. The House of Bells was unconquered up until a month ago. Will have to be a new one.
Its spirit will live on.
Perhaps we will have to gather our forces so that we can build it. Once, of course, we determine the course of the realm. And as she clicks her tongue, 3 of the servants peel away from the wall, and you can see that they've started to shift paintings, look behind curtains, and they have circled the area around. They're sussing out to see if there's anyone listening.
Oh. I just give her a quizzical look.
You believe the regent was behind the attack.
There certainly was documentation to that effect.
So Tepet has decided to destroy the House of Bells and has corrupted Kithak Baron in order to do so.
If not the entire house, at least Viren believed he convinced the regent.
When the House of Bells fell, Pelops immediately started to call for a strengthening of the navy back at home. Currently, their ships are circling the Isle. Trade has been blocked. Shipments from Nexus are no longer arriving here. Nor are we getting the standard goods from Chiaroscuro or from the north.
That explains why they are now being barred. Thank you.
It seems foolish of them to anger so many back home.
They believe that Anathema are crawling across the Isle, and that more and more are being brought in, and that once there is a critical mass, the entire realm will be overthrown from within.
Are there?
And so starving the entire Blessed Isle is their response?
We won't
Of course
starve.
we won't starve, but
Sounds like something Viren would do.
This is exactly what Viren would do. Viren has always believed that there's been anathema under our noses. Is he right?
It's possible. Do you expect us to know?
Her gaze just levels at you. There's like a piercing quality to it. And she's reading intention.
Okay. All right. Okay.
She wants to know, Pyres.
Yes.
My lovely Pyres.
I'm reading my extra intimacies that I didn't have room for. just in case.
Well, she wouldn't necessarily know your extra intimacies, would she?
No. Depends on what she's reading intentions about. We'll cross that bridge.
Well, I mean, you
Well.
She didn't read your intentions specifically for it. But what she is doing is she is going to attempt to use the following intimacy. First of all, what she's doing is she's trying to determine. Oh no, she can't because she's reading intentions and she can't do that. Okay, she wants to know your intentions for the scene.
Okay. I have a resolve of 4.
Do you believe that your resolve should be adjusted for your mother?
That's a great question, actually.
Yep.
Well, I can.
This is entirely voluntary on your part. You can definitely stand up to her. I'm not requiring that of you.
I'm definitely trying not to reveal anything, so I'm gonna hold her gaze.
You're gonna stunt this?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold her gaze in response and just kind of tilt my chin up
Whoa.
at her a little bit.
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay, so now your resolve is 5.
Okay.
One, 2,
Huh?
3, 4,
We don't like the sounds of this.
5, 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
Pyres.
What are your intentions for the scene?
My intentions for the scene are to get as much information out of her specifically as possible in regards to Viren's relationship with people.
Oh.
And it's to show her, it's to prove to her that we are the people who are going to be able to clear the air. That's not really what I mean. We're going to be the people who are going to be able to get Viren out of the picture.
To resolve what occurred at the House of Bells.
Yeah, that's nice.
So no anathema at the House of Bells.
Viren believed there were, that the House of Bells was so lost that somehow destroying the next generation of the Wild Hunt would somehow be better.
So he had no proof of anathema. His attack was a folly. Now we simply have to make sure that he make it clear that he was acting under either Tepet or Pelops' influence.
There was sorcery used.
Sorcery is possible by...
There were reports of Yozi.
The destruction caused there was unparalleled. I can't
The
think of what would have done
entire
it.
staff fell. These students only survived because I was lucky enough to notice the darkening of the skies and call out orders.
So you're saying that they summoned demons to bring forth... Demons that Princes of the Oath could summon couldn't lay such waste to the House of Bells.
And
You're
yet,
telling me that Viren consulted with Anathema to destroy the House of Bells?
Considering that his whole plan involved weakening our realm's greatest defense against Anathema, doesn't it sound like he was saying one thing while secretly aiming for another? Ah, yes, it's the evil Anathema. They've ruined the House of Bells. Here, let me destroy it so that there are no more members of the Wild Hunt being generated.
So there was no proof of Anathema at the House of Bells. There were no Anathema at the House of Bells until he brought them there. Vierin's a fool.
Of course.
A danger.
Dangerous fool.
Nice.
And then he came here.
What?
He did?
Not here. He's in the city.
Well, then he is a fool.
Do you intend to kill him? And her eyes just widen.
Why? I mean, he was all about the house, but I'm admittedly surprised that he would have come home here.
Excellent. You will defeat him.
Where is he?
Hope and Abandon will cut him down, and you will rise victorious over the traitor Vieren and prove that Kethak can deal with its own. Marvelous.
Deserves more punishment than I can inflict, but I can do my best.
You'll inflict all punishment necessary. I'm certain of it.
Where is he?
You said you saw him. She did not.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. You said you saw him.
He's in the city.
By whose report?
It's generally known. Generally known.
You guys.
The forces that were left retreated in all directions. Mostly north, I think. But no.
I believe that he is
Retcon me.
I believe that he is at Canaan's pavilion here. Canaan himself is not. But he does maintain presence here, and that would make sense that that's where he would be staying.
Is it possible that perhaps he was under the grips of some sort of anathema spell or
Mind control?
something? Yeah, exactly. Something. That's nice.
If he is indeed somebody who fell under an anathema spell, then you will be the one to break the spell or break the body that carries it.
I need to read intentions. I'm looking for intimacies towards Vieren in this moment. I need to know.
You don't actually have to call out which intimacy you're looking for.
Oh, right, because it's just level. You're right, we're right. Sorry, yes, we were
I mean, I'll give you an intimacy that is relating to this
to
conversation.
this conversation. Right, yes, sorry, we talked
Yeah,
about it.
you don't necessarily have to.
I'm going to look back at her, and I'm just going to say, traitors must be dealt with. And you're all right. You're all right with the consequences of this. Are you?
You may roll.
Thank you.
You stunted.
Yay!
Pyres.
I feel like
Pyres.
I'm going hard here. Whoa.
Very hard.
Put this in front of me. Okay. I guess it depends on resolve and so on. Anyway, I got 3 successes.
Okay.
Not many successes.
Major intimacy.
Oh. Oh.
Whoever brings down Vieren will be exalted in my eyes.
This is tough because I want her approval, but I also want to do the opposite of everything she says.
She's gonna be so pissed when she learns it was a solar who did it.
Who's gonna tell her?
Me! I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Surprise! Oh God.
I look forward to seeing you in action. You've learned well, haven't you? You would never fall under his corrupting words, would you?
He tried.
I imagine he did. Vieren's always been very well spoken. charismatic. He's a leader, a hero.
He's neither of those things.
You know that. I know that. Soon the world will know that what they thought Viren was, Pyres was instead.
Why did he want to pit us all against each other? He came to the House of Bells with the intention of games, he called them. Games master. And the games morphed from training to some sort of infighting.
I have no idea what he wanted to accomplish at the House of Bells. He was trying to suss out Anathema. That's what his intended goal was, as far as we could tell.
How will we arrange a meeting with him?
We'll take you over to the pavilion. Tomorrow.
We're just going to go knock on the door.
At noon.
At Canaan's pavilion, and we're just going to spill blood on his property.
Oh yes. It will be glorious.
And there will be no retribution from Canaan, considering Viren seems to be a guest of his?
The punishment will be exacted upon Vieren's body. Pyres will stand victorious above him. The story will come out.
Mother,
Everything will be all right.
I won't do this.
Everything's going to be all right, my son.
If it is at the expense of the matriarch of the house, I won't put this family in danger.
How could there be any danger when you have already won?
Does everyone hate Viren here? Are there not allies of his?
I'm going to look to my father with Oresta's question. Does everyone hate
Dylan's kind of looking at his wife, and there's a little bit of like a, okay, what's
Singular focus. What's going on?
This is troublesome.
Did you learn what you wanted from the scene, or just
Just that major intimacy.
Gotcha.
Major intimacy.
With Oresta by your side, you'll be unstoppable.
Ma'am.
I'm gonna physically turn my body to look at Oresta and stop looking at her. Boom. There you go.
We need more than that. We need to be assured that destroying Viren will gain us an upper hand. We cannot just be painted as angry students.
Every second Viren is alive, he will corrupt more and more of the feeble-minded.
And what if he was already dead?
Yeah, what if he was already dead?
What?
What if this is a mistake?
What if Viren isn't here?
What would
I'm
you
looking at you because I'm acknowledging she is not. She is like,
Looking at Pyres?
my son?
What if this is a mistake? He's already died by some inconsequential hand. Your victory is not possible. What would you do?
I'd want to know who killed him.
Would you sacrifice me to find that out?
Who would have spoken of sacrificing you? You're meant for so much, Pyres. There's no sacrificing you.
And yet you want to play me like a pawn.
Not a pawn. You are a vanguard. And the flag is ripe for taking.
In killing Viren, I don't advance my goals or my life. I am loyal to this house, Mother. You know this.
Are you loyal to the realm? And then you hear the echo of her voice as it sharply rises.
Of course I am.
Then kill its traitor.
Done. What next?
I know what we must do next. But it doesn't involve everyone here, so I don't have to say. And I just fucking, I don't know, lean back in my chair.
Yes. There'll be time after the deed is done. Were you trying to imply Like, are you trying to make it obvious that you're implying like Viren's already dead?
I'm trying to figure out what her next plan is. What's the next step?
I honestly don't know if she has one. Oh my god. Horrible.
With his death, everything will be fixed. Kitty, I'm not certain that's the case. And then she turns her head. You will be silent at this table.
Yeah, no, I'm...
Delwyn just looks at
like,
you and there's this helpless, like, shrug, like, I don't know what the fuck.
I'm gonna stand from my seat. I'm not like, standing on the table or anything, but I'm just gonna stand from my seat.
You look magnificent, Pyres.
Thank you.
Every inch the scion of Cathak that we need.
So then you'll listen to me, will you?
She doesn't answer, but she'll...
That's good.
looking
That's
at
good.
you.
Okay. It's a good start. Mother, I want Viren dead as much as you.
Yes.
But I cannot peer into your soul.
My soul? Why would you need to peer into my soul?
Because I don't trust your motives.
What?
I need you to prove to me and to Oresta, the heroes of House Cathak, that the reason you want him dead is not selfish.
He's a traitor to the realm. He destroyed the House of Bells, almost cost the lives of my child and his friend, who I hold deep within my own heart as if she was my own. This kind of exaggeration, by the way,
Yeah.
among nobles, like, it happens.
Yeah. Still, the fact that she's willing to say that clearly means she doesn't just flat out hate anyone that's not,
It's fair.
yeah,
That's a good thing.
She's accepted you.
Yeah, exactly. Thumbs up.
Fighting amongst ourselves will only sow more discord. We need union.
He is not included in the union.
I didn't say that. I don't want him included in this union.
Excellent.
You need me to handle this my way. Our way.
I know your way.
You don't know me at all.
Pyres, your way is to stand up, to pull the swords from their sheaths, watch them erupt into flame, and to fly forward towards your enemy in perfect form, perfect body, perfect mind, and perfect spirit, to see him cut down, for you to stand victorious above him, and to crow, as you always have. You are Cathak Pyres, my first son, and my second greatest glory.
If you know me, then surely you could have had a portrait made for this wall.
You haven't graduated yet.
He never will.
Then he'll earn his portrait another way, by doing what his mother tells him to.
I think you'd be more impressed with me if I walked out right now and never returned. I think you would be more impressed. In your heart of hearts, you would be ecstatic that I threw this back in your face. And I pick up a goblet of whatever wine and I make to throw it at her, but I don't.
Then it will be Oresta's portrait on the wall,
You cast me aside just like that.
if you will not obey.
It's people like you that are causing this realm to crumble.
And with that, she rises to her
I'm
feet,
gonna get fucked up.
plants one hand under the banquet table, and just flips the
I'd
whole...
like
Oh, yes! Oh, we're ending the session there!
Oh. Oh no.
Can
Can we send a pigeon to fucking Gale? Be like,
I'm not
cannot
getting
meet you
involved in
at
this."
library at noon. Need you here now, please.
No.
Bring fire guns.
Okay, we're all really drunk. We've been at the pub all night long.
I'm sorry. That's such a hype.
I
moment,
know,
but
it's
we
so
have
hype.
to carry that hype into the next session. We only have 4 more minutes.
Hold on to the
I loved
hype.
it. I'm.
Clutch it to your bosom.
I guess I should
my
write something
God.
down for them.
Just like, so you just lift your hand and you just slam the table back
I mean,
down?
my intention was to like at least catch it and possibly write it gently and put it back. I don't know. I would like.
We're gonna find
my
out.
instinct was catch it. And then you ended
Okay,
the
so
session.
she's lifting the table.
Yeah.
You have caught it.
Yeah.
And that's where we're
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Well, that's unlikely to end well. Couldn't agree more. Isn't this the second time we've ended a session with Oresta, like, stopping a violent action? I think someone was going to throw a punch and you stopped it.
Oh, probably.
And we ended the session there as well.
for that too.
Oh my
actually,
god.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the stress.
Krista, are you referring to the film Mother with an exclamation mark at the end of it? That some people at this table were in?
Or was it, I love mother?
Or yeah, or referring to like Psycho. or yeah, exactly. Or the T-shirt. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Gil doesn't have time for this. She's,
C.
yes.
Then there
I
was
think that-
violence.
There was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might not be here. Is that the implication?
Maybe, maybe not. We'll find out. But let's find out what you learned and what you might have enjoyed about each other's play. So let's start with what you learned. We're going to start with Liz today.
What I learned? I learned how cool ventures can be when you figure out like the perfect thing that like tailors to what your character can do really well. I thought of this a couple of days ago, and yeah, I'm just like really happy with how it seemed very appropriate for the character.
And this is why I think crafting actually works in essence.
Yeah.
But you've instead crafted.
I mean, it's brilliant.
war
I'm just gonna say it's
stratagem.
brilliant. Yeah.
Well,
you.
it's
the game.
the thing is that I know that this is going to be more than 2 obstacles, and the first 2 are perfectly suited to you. But assuming that you manage to get through this venture, it's like a great distillation of how an exalted can move mountains.
Yep.
Not necessarily through the sheer power of a sword or, punching a mountain so hard that it moves. And for some people, that's great. But Exalted has also been the kind of game where you can be the best chef in creation, and that's how you overthrow a monarchy. Right?
You see, this volcano pudding represents the House of Bells.
But you're using a strength of yours, Gateway, and I think that's awesome.
Thanks, buddy.
Kate?
I'm
Didn't we
learning,
get it good? Great. Let's find out.
learning about how Oresta finds her spot within like the actual Dynas society, putting on that role and trying to match all the different personalities that she's encountering. Yeah.
And what about her reaction to somebody trying to claim you out from your parents?
She didn't care about that really. Like it read as like 99.9% a slight at Pyres. And like 0.1%, you're gonna be convenient and useful to me, so sure I'll take you. Right? It was more I would be a useful pawn.
Harsher in a lot
Yeah.
of ways. Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Rather than like, oh yeah, fuck your family.
Yeah.
Scott?
I learned that can I say 2 things? I learned that my mother, Kitty, is also a really intense zealot. I mean, she's a fire aspect, so maybe that's just as far as it goes.
But here's the question.
Yeah,
Has she always been a zealot?
it's a great question.
Is she just being a fire aspect right now? Is this the great curse? makes it something else.
Exactly.
My tinfoil hat is
That's
like
what I'm
Oh,
terrified
yeah.
about, honestly.
Yeah.
It's-
I also learned
God.
I put a much more of a name to like what do you want to do, Pyres, was the conversation that I had today with Pylin. I put a lot more of a name to it actually, because what it boiled down to me was like, I think the realm should do this, but like maybe I'm not the one to actually do those things, and that's kind of as clear as I've gotten so far. But
I think that's still quite valid.
yeah, I quite liked that. It was nice.
Elizabeth?
Favorite moment?
Yeah. I'm going to call someone out here.
So I really wanted to call out Pyres' smashing of the pots as being a perfect like fire aspect thing. I don't know if I would call that like great curse level, or if I would pitch that as an exalt milestone potentially. I don't know, but like I just thought that was it was the perfect Pyres response to having that dressing down.
I need pots in my room now.
Because you can tell he's done that before.
Yeah, guaranteed.
It was so methodical. It's great.
It's ridiculous.
Loved it.
I wanted to highlight for Kate over here. Kate, I feel like we didn't have we didn't have the same kind of like venture thing going on that Liz did, so we didn't have a lot of like mechanical kind of stuff to dive into. But just to tack on to what you said about yourself and what you learned, I loved seeing Oresta in this milieu and watching you navigate it, because like I don't think she's bad. She wasn't like bumbling around in the like dynastic society, but she was very much like, okay, well, I guess I should just be direct with this person, but I shouldn't be like overly crude or whatever. Oh, and then like trying to rejig methodology with the dad. Like it was really nice. It was a really nice kind of like finding a place and a tightrope to walk. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, big thing is just I'm gonna make a new gateway opening and spread it, and it's like it's so
good.
so Gale, it's so good, it's so awesome, fucking amazing, but also the way that Gale was talking to Fluvian once getting redressed or whatever, like the way that there is still that social dynamic of not necessarily like sort of missing each other a little bit still, which I think is like it's great that you continue to manage to portray that, right? You're not just like, oh well, she's my friend, so I just understand her. Like you're continuing the Galeness.
I don't know if I can pitch the beginning of the venture as a personal milestone sort of thing, but because it's not done yet. But like, it's just such a cool idea, and it's so wide-rangingly effective. I don't know.
Assuming it works.
Well, exact, but that's the risk in Exalted, right? Anyway.
So before we get to your spotlight, in terms of milestones, you've each earned a minor milestone.
Oh,
So in other words, you get a minor milestone.
Yay.
You have arrived in the city that you were intending to go to, and you've started working on that. So your transition away from the House of Bells and Argent is complete. A minor milestone for all of you. I am also awarding an Exalt milestone to Gale Whispered. As air aspects, gain an Exalt milestone if they take an action towards a long-term goal.
That brings us up to 3 temporary, which rolls us up to 1 to spend.
Hooray!
I'm also granting a personal milestone to Pyres. You're essentially coming home, wrecking, not quite wrecking shit in your house, but definitely feeling anger, and then standing up to your mother.
I mean,
It's just a moment of, and we're bordering perhaps as Gilligan is making. I'm not sure if you're quite on the Great Curse at this point. Maybe we're gonna get there, but like I feel like you have definitely shown a whole honkin' like.
Oh, John's mic is out, apparently.
Oh.
My mic just- Yeah, I'm not connected.
Oh, look at that. Let's see if it's on.
I think one of our charging cables may not be
I'm gonna
properly
ask a question
plugged
to
in.
you while they fix
It's
that.
possible.
Is our personal milestones also banked the way Exalt milestones are? Okay,
Yes.
so this is a
Yeah, all milestones have to be are basically along.
right. That is all of them. Perfect.
We'll have them back momentarily, folks.
We'll have to test the charging cables.
Yeah.
Figure them out.
And I just want to say, while I have the floor, because we talked about like the we talked about this sort of like personal milestone of confronting mom and stuff. I thought that was really brill, in the sense that I was fully expecting to be like, okay, I'm gonna go in, I'm just gonna like oppose whatever she says, because like I don't think she has my best interests at heart. But her action proposed was one that I'm actually super down for, despite what we know about Vieren. So I'm like, okay, never mind. And then, yeah, it was this balance for me of like, I really want to oppose you, but not for what you're saying. It's for how you're saying it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was nice. It was really nice.
Did you pitch that as your storyteller?
No, I thought we could pitch something else together. I just wanted to say that as well, if I may. Does anyone have any other thoughts? Because I'm happy to pitch that one too.
I mean, I'll throw down that whole like zealoty monologue
Yeah.
that built.
Yeah. just Kiri overall, but like
Yeah.
intense and super cool at first meeting, and then at dinner it's just like crank it up to 11.
Well, actually, in the first meeting too, like that
Yeah.
stage was set so well. I know we're often not like we're not often in the same place long enough to be like, and the moss growing on the wall. Like, we're not going to do that either. But like, it was really beautiful to be in that space, to be in that Zen garden, just despite her.
It was perfect though. I loved even how you described like just how it was raked.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Gives you a very specific idea of who this woman is.
Everything in its place.
I don't
Either
want to
in the
meet her.
garden or in history.
I was gonna say, yeah, in my place as silver medal son.
My second greatest achievement.
I know. It's like,
oh, it's so upsetting.
maybe her greatest achievement was having me.
Maybe the greatest achievement of the friends we made along the way.
That is correct. That is correct.
Does anybody have any comments that they want to make about the game that they want to throw out there while we're here? Prince Knucklehead, we just wrapped up a session of ExalTwitch Academy, which is a game being run using the Exalted Essence system, which is an alternate of ExalTwitch, Exalted 3rd Edition. There it is.
Yep. We had Aragorn back tonight, and as Aragorn, you said earlier, you're happy to be here, and we're happy to have you here. So, thank you. And thank you to everyone, but, you know.
It actually extends to, it's great to see you.
Welcome.
It's actually great to see anybody who can make it live. Obviously, some people can't.
Yeah.
We
Time zones.
Hey.
Time zones, real life. Thanks for the follow. Time zones, real life. I'm busy on Sundays or whatever. We totally get it. But when you can make it here, it's nice. It's nice to see people.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of energy in the room, I think. There's like amongst us, but also from the chat and like, it's great. It's a good feeling.
I do have to also thank you for your accommodations in that you split the party, and yet somehow we managed to make it work. I mean, we do. That's what we do.
Great session.
It is appreciated that was kept in check.
I loved watching the drama unfold.
I liked watching the very nice romantic relationship and then Flavienne getting a bit closer to you. Oh, I have questions.
Is it exclusive?
Yeah, I have
She
I
asked.
have a lot of
no,
questions.
that's unfortunate.
Pointedly.
Gale didn't read it that way. That's
No, I
I
know.
was like, I guess we're friends now. Guess we're better friends now.
Yeah.
You sure are.
Oh no.
Maybe the two of you are reading it wrong.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe.
Yep.
I mean,
been
and
known
maybe
to do
John is purposefully choosing to make us think one thing because he's clever like
I only
that.
have one thing to say to that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Well, as we will see all things. But let's see what we're coming up against this week.
Up against. We have many obstacles. This whole week we've got streams all throughout the week within this community. I stream on Tuesdays over at twitch.tv/BiffTheBoss, boss with the cool spelling. We're streaming the Outer Worlds right now. I think there's a few more sessions, and then I have decided Chief Inspector Stryker got a lead on his nemesis Carmen Sandiego, and we are going in hot against Carmen Sandiego in the future. I'm so excited.
You can't say that Outer Worlds is going to take a few more sessions and then drop Carmen Sandiego.
I have to. I'm so excited. It's just because I can't. Anyway, I can't give up now, but like I'm just really excited about it. Anyway, join me on Tuesday at 6 Eastern, please.
It's totally legit, by the way. Play through the rest of the Worlds, but like, oh fuck, which Carmen Sandiego? Oh, I have so many questions. Anyway,
Wednesday.
The funnier one.
On Wednesday, we have retired Scrub Check as a show for now. So we're just going to be playing some video games. Some interesting ideas that were raised in Discord are the idea is just, I should just play what I want. Just talk about, like, things while I play. You know, like, what everyone else
What a weird concept.
But what we are going to do, just for this time around, just while I try to figure out exactly what we're doing, we're going to be playing Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. And I'm going to see how far I can get in the time that we have.
That's fun.
Just out of curiosity, I have not played the remaster yet, so it'll be fun to see what we can do with that.
Great.
Thursday
is clinic hours, and I don't think we're quite ready for our clinic hours to go over our current setup here. So in the meantime, last clinic hours we talked about the real problems that we can't just solve using our word holes. We talk about RPGs, we talk about advice that I would give to either storytellers or players, and I am very curious to go into certain topics that I can't go into yet. Fuck.
Yep.
Oh, see, like...
There are things being planned.
There are things. Okay.
There are things that I want to, but I can't just yet. So we're just going to have a normal Q&A. So let's get some ideas on what we can talk about, and we will absolutely check that out. Friday?
Friday, we are continuing the Punch Effect.
Yeah.
Scott very kindly steel streamed for us last week, but we are back 6 p.m. Eastern on my channel.
Yay! Thanks, Super Dylan.
Hey, for Super Dylan.
Saturday, there most likely will not be Drew Crew because we are hosting someone at the house.
No, sorry. I just get really excited about the idea of being like, just fucking bring him in anyway.
Yeah, but...
Anyone who has a kebab emote's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a big win.
And a Goku in a crater?
Nice.
Is that Goku? I don't know
happening?
Dragon Ball, I'm sorry.
Dragon
I can't see that
Ball.
Saturday night?
Similarly, I don't actually know if we'll be able to do that on Saturday, given our hosting.
There might be some
duties.
steals.
But yeah, we'll definitely organize that if we can. I do like streaming.
When is the game that you were talking about coming out?
Oh, it's September 1st.
Oh,
so
good.
way away.
Nice.
And then
time for a stream.
Sunday, same time, same channel, episode 5, we will see what happens with the table flip and the stop.
Table flip
The
and
table
catch.
flop.
Table flop.
I see the tables have to...
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, no.
You actually have to say the tables have and then we gotta wait for 1 week to find out.
Yay.
Table flop.
Do have to thank She Who Knows 10,000 Things, everyone, for being here. It's very appreciated. And honestly, couldn't ask for more. But we do, because we have such a great community. And we do love seeing all of you here. So it's really appreciated. Whether or not you can meet up with your friends and loved ones to game in person, just know that the internet's there for you. It's not necessarily the best, but we'll get there, because I'm lucky enough that I get to play with these three. I'm even luckier that I get to play with them in person, and it's because we got that double tap, and because we're keeping it safe elsewhere. We really hope you're doing the same, if you can.
Yeah.
You know what direction we go in?
It's that way, and it's that way.
Next time.
Bye.